You guys are outside the city of Karenborg. You got up in the morning, Corum and Joram packed up the wagons, which basically just constituted breaking down your campsite, chucking in a wagon, everybody hopped in. You drove about 2 hours, and as sunrise, you crested a hill and looked down upon the glorious city of Karenborg. It is a big city, not as big as Dragonmyrth, and not quite as many magnificent and like physics-defying wonders constructed, but also there are no physics-defying constructors in the center of the town. Well, in the center of the city, there is an enormous ivory tower that spirals up very, very high above the city. That's the place where it's room. Well, you guys have it on good authority. That's actually Zenobia's tower. She is the ruler, and that is typically where she abides. That's the Zenobia's tower. Is just that's what's called in the town. They don't have like a fancy name for it. That's where she lives. There are also some other ivory towers that spiral up, a couple dozen. None of them are quite as tall or as ornately decorated as Zenobia. She has the fanciest one. But there are a number of ivory towers that rise from the stretches of the city. But other than the occasional ivory tower spiraling into the heavens, it looks like any other big city that you've ever seen, bustling with commerce and whatnot. The propensity for Zenobians to be out and about is a little higher, because, this is where they're from. But there are a very large number of Zenobians available and running around the city that you notice. But they don't seem to behave any differently than a regular person who's just out like doing their business.
And a quick refresher: some of them are undead, or most of them are undead.
So Zenobian is a somewhat fluid term because it can refer to just a person who lives in the country of Zenobia. But it can also refer to specifically the Zenobian people who are dead. Yes, they're
considered undead.
They are undead.
Right.
Yes, the Zenobians are undead. Yes,
but they're not like flesh-eating zombies.
They are not. No, they are not mindless undead like a zombie or a skeleton. They don't hunger after flesh. They're just people who aren't alive anymore
and are carrying on their lives.
Yeah, they just don't breathe.
They're unlives.
Sounds pretty sweet, actually.
So, well, it's super. There's a reason that it's stupendously expensive to become a Zenobian. Yeah. And that's also why Zenobia is the leader of this place, because she's the person who perfected the ritual of transformation that can take someone and make them become a Zenobian.
Okay. So we're just on the wagons heading in?
Yep. You guys are rolling up. You're about, 10, 15-minute walk. There is a caravansary outside the western gate of Karenborg, the capital. And Corum and Joram are headed that way. Corum looks at you guys. He's like, well, we're almost to the caravansary. That's where your contract ends. I got to say, sorry to see you guys go. You're damn good at your job. I wish we could keep you on for every adventure, but I reckon you guys have got some other stuff you want to do. I don't suppose I could talk you into maybe staying on with us there, maybe?
I think we have another task we have to attend to. This has just been a useful way forward.
Yeah, I figured as much, but you can't blame a guy for trying.
When are you setting back out, Joram? I mean, if it's not for a few days, who knows? Maybe we'll have killed this Roy character and be ready to head back.
Well, I don't know anything about a guy named Roy. You ever heard of Roy? And he looks over at Joram, and Joram just shakes his head and doesn't say anything. He's like, "Yeah, me neither. I don't know how long that's going to take, but we're heading out actually the day after tomorrow. So, and we're headed down to. Sadly, we're headed down to. We're going down south. We got to go down the Notch. I'm not looking forward to it. It's going to be a dangerous run, which is why I was maybe hoping you guys would tag along. But if you got other things to do, I understand. Adventures are adventures, and well, I mean, you guys are good at your jobs, but also plenty more where that came from, if you know what I mean.
Well, we'll look you up. Otherwise, good luck eating through your hired goons.
Oh, well, I mean, if you guys want to hold up, or you guys are running off, you all are due some money. And he goes over and motions.
Oh yes, I would like us to receive the contractual payments. That sounds like a good thing.
Yeah,
indeed. So, contracts are very important. Well said, Bartatas.
So Joram, he motions over to Joram, and Joram reaches inside his vest and pulls out a small bag, and it looks like it has a bunch of like valuable stones in it. And you guys were 20 gold a day, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So let me figure out what these guys owe you then. Okay, so each of you gets a 500 gold piece diamond. And then Joram hands all those out, and he's like, man. He gives Corum a significant look, kind of cocks his head and raises one eyebrow a little bit, and Corum's like, all right, fine. You know what? They earned it. Yeah, you're right, Joram. They earned it. Joram didn't say anything, but they have like this nonverbal communication thing going. And then he gives each of you another 100 gold piece gem as well. He's like, you guys earned the bonus. You did good work.
Old Jay and Silent Bob.
Yep, a little bit. Yeah, kind of. So you guys get 600 gold, and then they say their goodbyes, shake their hands, say, you know, if you guys want to, just come find us. If you want to go down to, if you're headed down to Notch's way, you know, look us up. We'll be happy to go.
Yep.
And then they wander off deeper into the caravanserai then after having made their goodbyes to go take care of some paperwork and deliver their stuff.
Pete, your break logo's still up.
Oh, is it? Oh, I do not have chat open, so okay, hold on a minute.
And Iskar says there's no audio, but I can hear audio.
Yeah, the audio is, there should be audio, but he's right about the break logo. There you go.
Ta-da!
So you guys are at the western gate of Karenborg City. People are coming and going. There's traffic. There's vehicles of carts and whatnot moving back and forth. There are a couple guards stationed outside, but they don't seem interested in you in any capacity at all.
What time of day is it right now?
It is about 8 o'clock in the morning.
So
Well-
I think we should unload like our crap that we don't want to.
Corum and
Dragonmyrth.
Joram basically tossed your stuff out of the wagon already.
Awesome.
When they made their goodbyes, they gathered up your stuff and set it aside for you.
Okay, yeah, I just meant like should trade like our gold bird cage, gold bracelet, and stuff for cash.
Okay, so if you want to head down to, you can. Well, you have a map of Karenborg, if I remember correctly. Do you?
Yeah.
Think so?
Yeah, I bought a map and I've been sort of reading it out along the way.
Okay,
so.
well, you know where the largest market. There's an open air market in towards the middle of the city where a lot of the trade goes. You definitely with your map could easily get the party to navigate to there if you want. That's what you guys want to do first.
Yeah, probably getting organized first will be good.
So let's get a breakdown then and kind of get an idea of what everybody wants to do. So Tink, what do you have anything specific you want to handle?
Not at all.
Okay, Biddy, I know you wanted to go look for a spell. Did you have anything else you wanted to do?
Yeah, I just want to look for 2 spells actually: haste and gift of alacrity.
Okay.
It's probably the main thing I want to do, for myself.
Okay, so Biddy's going spell
We
shopping.
should probably eventually find Zenobia, but later on.
Colonel, you anything on your list? Get an agenda.
Maybe just some general shopping, but I don't have like a specific thing in mind. More of just browsing for the afternoon. It's been a long time since we've been in civilization.
Okay, Slexy, anything for you?
Nothing really, but if the Colonel's going shopping, I might just hang out.
Okay, and Silk, you want to barter then the valuables that the party has accumulated? Is there anything else you want to do other than that?
I kind of want to get a better rapier than my stock one.
Okay.
Like we talked like last session when we fought the trolls, or thought we were going to fight them. We were talking about getting like a flaming one or something.
So a flame tongue rapier may be a little hard to come by because those are pretty rare, but a magic sword would be something you could easily, like there are shops for that. Okay, so it sounds like except for Biddy, who's doing some specialized shopping, you guys are more just kind of interested in going down to the general marketplace.
Yeah.
Okay. So, you guys split up. Biddy, you're gonna wander off. There is, you recognize as being a mage, there is an installation of the Silver Sages here. The Silver Sages is a wizard's guild. They have installations throughout all of Dragonmyrth. It's sort of a loose association of sorcerers and warlocks and wizards and those of a magical bent where they get together and basically talk shop. So, if you want to head over to the Silver Sages Tower, that's fine.
Indeed, anyone who dwells in an ivory tower is all right with me.
Silver Sage's tower is actually made of silver metal. It's also not
All
a
the better.
grand giant spire like the ivory towers of the powerful Zenobians. This is a much more pragmatic structure. It's like made of a glimmering. It looks like quicksilver. Actually, the building is basically, imagine what a building made out of mercury would look like. It looks like that, except it's also well fortified. Like it has arrow slits and there's bars on the windows and stuff. It's more like a fortress made out of quicksilver, but it is just a single tower. It's just large and it's not tall. It's more squat and defensible. It's more of a practical building.
Little too practical for my tastes, but I suppose if they have scrolls, I may as well visit it.
It's this is actually one of the less flashy Silver Sages guilds you've seen. The one in Dragonmyrth is also made of Quicksilver because they all are, but it's really cool. Like it has gargoyles and whatnot that crawl around on the surface of it. That one's all magic and fancy. This one it looks much more sturdy and stolid than it looks much more practical than decorative.
I'll be sure to register a complaint about their lack of fanfare.
Okay.
But it's all right. I'm really here for practical purposes.
Okay, so that one's over on the eastern edge of the city, which is away from the marketplace a little bit. So you're gonna head that way and start wandering around. Meanwhile, everybody else, you guys make it to the general bazaar, and commerce is bustling. Karenborg looks like a pretty busy city. It's not quite the overwhelming assault on the senses that the Grand Bazaar in Dragonmyrth is, but also, there's people showing you stuff like, hey, check it out. And the fresh fish lady's like, fresh fish. There's hustle and bustle everywhere. So,
Fresh fish.
what an
Fresh fish lady would say.
We should find a jeweler or something that will take some of this like bird cage and stuff. Because I don't think we're keeping a bird.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
So question for you guys then. Are you looking for like a gold or silversmith, or do you want something maybe a little more... this is probably more for Silk than anybody else, or are you looking for more like a guy who knows how to move some stuff, if you know what I mean? Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, kind of.
I'm gonna I want it to be quick and easy, so probably just the guy who's willing to move some stuff.
Okay, make a investigation roll, Silk. You sort of live in this world a little bit, so you got some inklings. As you're walking around the bazaar, you can kind of get a gauge of your situation. Make an investigation roll.
All right, as soon as I get some dice, I'll roll it. Unless you want me to roll on my desk, in which case.
Oh, right, you need dice. Never mind. Sorry, I'm dumb. I was actually looking at my notes. I'm sorry. Let me get some dice out here. Components.
Yeah, I figure with my background, I'm probably fairly likely to know something. We'll see. Let's see what the dice give me.
There you go. And before Colonel runs away with all of them.
I got a 9.
You got a what?
A 9.
Okay.
I had a really bad roll.
Well, you're looking around and you see a guy who has like a stall, but he looks more like just more of a general store kind of thing than an actual fence. So may not be the guy you're looking for. But while you were searching around, you did find both a gold and a silversmith. They don't seem shady, but it's more like your choices are effectively you can go to like a jewelry store or a pawn shop. So that's what you came up with.
Yeah. I guess we'll go to like the jewelry store.
Okay.
We've got a gold bracelet and we've got a gold bird cage, so I figured the bracelet's probably easier to move.
Okay. So you guys wander into the old jewelry shop, and there's a grumpy old gnome sitting behind the desk, or at least he looks grumpy. His eyebrows are real bushy. He's got his face in a ledger book, and he's like, "Yeah, what do you want?"
Do I so
after you, my dear.
Do
The
I
name
notice
of-
anything interesting about this shop? Like
The name
does
of
it
the
look
shop
like
is
it's
just
like-
Johnson's Jewelry. It looks pretty
Okay.
like a pretty no frills enterprise.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm waiting. Steve Johnson, by the way. Johnson Jewelry. What can I do for you?
Hello, my name's Barnitas. We were caravan guarding, and one thing led to another. We ended up with this gold bracelet here, this Fist of Indor that we don't need, and we were wondering, if we could get if you were in the market for buying spare gold items.
Adventurers, huh? Let me see. Any motions for you to hand him the stuff?
Yep, I'm just gonna set it down or hand it to him. whatever
Okay.
he's
Do you want to
gesturing.
throw the bird cage out there too? I mean, when you're looking around his shop, he has a bunch of different objects de art. So he's got various and sundry things that are very similar to what you've got.
Oh, sure. We also through similar means acquired this gold bird cage with the electrum filigree.
Similar means. I'm assuming you killed the guy that used to carry it around then?
Well, they tried to kill us and it didn't go well. For
all
them.
I care. Was it under contract with the Adventurers Guild? That's all. Were you under contract when you did the murder? That's really all I care about, son.
Of course.
Okay, so good. Yeah, exactly. Of course, exactly. And he gives you like a very exaggerated, clearly I don't give a shit if you're lying wink. All right, let's take a look at what you got then. So he grabs the birdcage and the torque and goes behind the desk and pulls out a jeweler's loop and starts, looking at it. And then he bites it to make sure it's actually made out of gold. Classic evaluating stuff. And he's like, all right then. And I don't remember what's the value of these, by the way. I would have given when I told you what was their
I
actual
wrote
value.
it down.
You said they were 250 each.
Okay, each is 250 gold. Okay, so he takes a look at him and he's like, I give you 400 gold for the lot.
I was really thinking more like 500. These are very high quality items.
Well, I mean, I don't know. It's a hungry family to feed, and there's all kinds of. Well, the orphans, they need a new orphanage, and I was going to donate to them.
And someone inside check.
All of that. Let's.
Yeah, I want to see if he's.
You don't need to roll. Like... He's definitely lying about the orphans and the family. We're gonna do a little bit of haggling here, though. So make a persuasion roll. So.
All right. Where did my D20 go?
Colonel has stacked them all conveniently into a pile.
Okay, well, I'm just gonna take this one. I can't read that. 19 plus
Ooh,
10, 29 for persuasion.
damn.
Okay, well, you know what? I will go ahead and roll. I don't think he's going to beat you, but give me a second. Let's see what we get here. Nope. Okay, so you have. So he's like, all right, 500 sounds fair. Then you drive a hard bargain, kid. I like that. I like my kind of half elf. 500
Like-
it is then.
Jib.
Yep. Pleasure doing business with you.
All right. So he hands you a small sack. Well, actually, it's a reasonably largish sack with 500 gold in it, and then he takes the torque and he's like, "Ooh, taking this over to the temple," and then puts that in, like tucks that into his robe, and then the bird cage he goes and puts on a shelf over in the corner.
Cool.
Anything else? Or you guys done?
Do you know of a good place where musicians like myself could earn a little money?
As long as it ain't around here. And he's like, I see a set of bagpipes there. You play those in this town, kid, you're probably gonna wind up dead. But if you're looking to busk, like, just go find an inn. Also, what do I look like? A musician? When I Phil Spector over here? How do I know that? Just go to an inn, kid. This is just go shit. Just throw down a hat. As long as it ain't outside my shop, I don't care.
I'm just gonna give him a sort of half nod and just grab the money and leave.
Okay.
Without anything else.
Anything else you guys want to shop for in particular? Especially like anything that's available in the equipment, you can absolutely find and buy it. It's listed price if you don't want to haggle. Any kind of basic or generalized gear. If you want anything magical or any kind of magical equipment or items, though, those we'll have to try and find.
Okay. I might look for a better mace, but
okay.
I
haven't yet
rapier.
looked through to find one. So,
are you just looking for like a magic mace? Like you can just get a +1 or probably not +2 would be pretty expensive, but a +1 mace would be.
I'll look for a +1 and.
Okay, so you guys want to do some weapon shopping?
Well,
yeah. I do too.
Okay. So you guys go outside and make some inquiries then in the bazaar, and like a peasant's like, we don't. You go to a weapon shop, and he's like, we don't deal in magic stuff here, just ordinary steel variety. If you're looking for magic shit, you're probably gonna have to go to Aaron's Awesome Magic Goods over there, and he like points down the street and gives you like, go down that street, take a left, and then a right, and then it's after the fountain. He gives you directions.
All right.
So hold on a second, I gotta look something up real quick. Okay. So you guys wander, follow the directions, and like you get lost. But then a second later, a friendly peasant's like, "No, Aaron's is around the corner. Whoever told you was drunk off his ass. He gave you bad directions." So you get straightened out and go over, and there's a shop that it doesn't look like anything special, but there's a small sign that says "Stream Peter." Okay, Slexy got kicked.
Yeah, I'll be back in a second.
Okay. There's a little shop there that looks like just like a small house. But there's a sign on the front that says Aaron's Awesome Magic Items.
All right, sounds good.
So when you guys walk in, the inside does not match the outside at all. Like the inside is enormous. There's weapons of every variety and description stretching back as far as the eye can see. Think, that scene in The Matrix where Neo goes guns, lots of guns?
Oh, yeah.
Think of that, except with like swords and halberds and shields and suits of armor and all kinds of shit.
Swords. Lots of swords.
Yeah, so you guys wander in and a lady walks over and she's like, "Oh, good morning, may I help you? Welcome to Aaron's Awesome Magic Items. Have you been here before? Do you have a loyalty card?" She seems really eager to look at your loyalty card. Do you want to sign up for a loyalty card? We have loyalty cards.
I'm good.
I do.
Buy 10 magic swords and buy 9 magic swords, the 10th one's free.
Can I see what a loyalty card looks like from where I'm at?
Absolutely. She goes, "Come over," and she's like super eager to have you come behind the desk. Please, here. Then she hands you a sheaf of papers that you are supposed to fill out with like your name and adventuring guild number and all like once your address and email address, social security number, all kinds of like invasive personal information.
Oh, I was just gonna look to see if there was like an actual card that I could look at to forge, so I could fake having one and try to get a.
There is an actual, but you wouldn't be able to do it like in situ unless you. Oh, are you talking about like with magical means?
I mean, like, I have prestidigitation, so I could make one poof, so you can look at it and be like, "Oh, this looks
okay."
good."
Well, I mean, when you go over to sign up for the pamphlet, does have an example of what one looks like. It's just a little green card that says Aaron's Awesome Magic Items on it. Has a little shiny thing in the corner. Did you want to try and make a loyalty card that has like 9 punches on it already?
I want to make one that has 8, so that I can be like, "Come on." I think that'd be more plausible for some reason.
Make a deception check.
19.
Okay. She goes, "Nice try there, champ. I don't think using me is going to get along. Any more funny business and I'm going to have to show you to the street. Also, no loyalty card for you." And then she pulls the stack of papers back.
I'm going to crack a non-offensive smile, like and like the worth shot kind of shrug.
Yeah, if you're going to say you can't blame a guy for trying, that's bullshit. You tried and I'm blaming you. So go, you can look around, but any more, you try to pull any more fast ones, I'm gonna call Gus to show you to the sewer, to the gutter. However,
Okay. And
then she turns to the colonel and she's like, "You know what? Here." And she's like, what are you doing later? As she slips you a fresh loyalty card that she has already paperworked up for you into your hand.
Marty leans on the counter and waggles an eyebrow at her like, "Well, I'm only in town for the night, but what time do you get off work?"
Well, the shop closes at 5, so where can
How
I
many
meet you?
inns in town? You know any good spots?
I know all the good spots. One in particular that I have in mind for you.
Well, I think I'll be swinging around here around 5 then, is what that sounds like to me.
That's an agreeable plan for me. Well, now let's get you some poking implements. What are you looking for here?
Well,
Coffee,
I'm kind of a
tea,
beer man
weed?
myself.
What are we in the market for?
Well, so Marty's gonna flash his rapier, like, "This is my trusty sidearm here, and I'm quite happy with him. But my My short bow, he's just kind of a basic chap. What do you got in the short bow department?
Oh, well, bows. We have tons. And she leads you back into the shop, and there's a gigantic rack of the various and sundry short bows. So you kind of got to give me an idea of what you're looking to buy.
Do they have just like +1 or +2 short bows? I don't need anything.
They actually have both. Yes, both would be available here.
How much would a +2 short bow cost?
5,000 gold.
How much do the +1 short bows cost?
500 gold.
That I can afford. Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. Do you want
I'm gonna wait.
haggle or persuade?
Yeah, let's try to haggle down a little bit, but not, I'm a gentleman.
Okay. Go ahead and make a persuasion roll, and I'm going to give you advantage since she is quite taken with you.
Infatuated.
Yeah. That 14 charisma doing some work under the hood.
Well, I don't know. We'll see, because I rolled a 2, so...
Okay, well.
5.
Roll again, because I'm giving you advantage, so roll 2 and take the best.
Oh, right, good.
Although she is pretty good at haggling, so...
I rolled a 3. Wow, that advantage did not get me
well,
very
I
far.
rolled a 2, but she has... what's your total there? She's good, so...
Including persuasion is +5, so that's 8 all told.
Yep, she got a 13.
Yeah,
so. All right, then. Well, I mean, sexy
Wait, she
fella
got a
like
13?
Yeah.
Wow.
Ooh,
Plus 11 is... I mean, this is her job.
She's
That's a
been,
merchant. That's a good point.
She's a merchant. Well, handsome fellow like you is going to be slaying so many... Well, you know what you're slaying. Come on, let's get you rung up. And she takes you over to the counter. So she will sell you the bow for 500 gold.
I will pay for it.
Okay. All right, so you bought a bow. Slexy, you're wandering around looking at maces and hammers, I guess?
Yeah, I'm gonna wait for Colonel Fish and come
well,
up
you
and be
can.
like,
This is all happening at the same time. You guys
Okay.
are shopping. Silk, I'm assuming you're looking around as well.
Yeah, I'm looking for like a +1 rapier or possibly like a bow, so I can also do some stuff.
They
with
would
long range,
have...
but probably just
Unless you
+1
want
rapier.
something super fancy, like if you just... They will have up to +2 of any magic item that you would want, so...
Okay.
I don't
well,
actually know if
+1
you go
rapier.
Good,
And
go
I was
ahead.
going to try to unload our +1 dagger that Jonas gave me. That's pretty just unremarkable, and I don't want to use.
Okay. Oh, the Roy dagger?
Yeah.
Okay. And Slexy, you're just looking for, you said a +1 mace?
Yeah, I'm looking for a +1 mace, but I don't know if this exists or not. But is there anything that I can use either one-handed or two-handed?
I don't know if there's any versatile... I don't think there are any versatile bludgeoning weapons. Let me see. I'm gonna have to little Google foo here.
Yeah, that's what I was just looking for, but I couldn't really see anything. But the thing is I know that I thought I saw one at some point.
I think there's like a lucerne hammer that may be versatile.
If I can't, then just a +1 mace is fine. But
I'm looking at the weapon SRD. Hold on. So we want versatile weapons. A warhammer is a bludgeoning versatile weapon, actually.
okay.
Are you trained in martial weapons? Are you proficient in martial weapons? As a cleric, you don't start with it, but I don't know if your domain may.
Yeah, I am trained with martial.
You are proficient in martial. Okay, so you could buy a warhammer, which is a versatile weapon. It's a D8 if you use it one-handed. If you use it two-handed, does a D10.
Okay. How much would that be?
Do you want a magic one?
Yeah, I want a +1, so I'll ask.
550 gold.
Okay.
But you can haggle if you want.
I'm not much of a haggler.
Okay. So
Worth a shot. I mean,
ooh, that's quite a nice. Ooh, it's a big hammer. I mean, it's not the kind of hammering I'm looking for today, but I think it'll be exactly what you need, big fella like you.
Yeah, I'll just quietly grab it, put it on the table.
Okay. She pats you on the shoulder. Excellent choice. And if you don't want to bargain or anything, she'll take the 550 and then ring you up.
Okay. I'll just put it on the table.
Got it. Okay. You now have a +1 warhammer.
Oh, can I offload my normal mace here? Or?
They don't trade in regular non-magical stuff. Also, a regular mace is worth like you would have trouble finding that. So just you can just put it in. She's like, there's a barrel outside.
Oh.
They have like a leave a weapon, take a weapon kind of barrel outside where you can pick up a regular non-magical stuff.
I may just hang on to it to throw it at something.
Silk,
Okay.
you're looking for, you said a +1 rapier and a +1 bow?
Yeah, probably just the rapier, since
I mean, they have both. Both are available. If you want a magic rapier, it'll run you $550. If you want a 550 gold. If you want a magical bow, assuming you want a +1, they're both available for 550.
okay. What will she give me for that +1 Roy dagger that I don't give a single shit
So you
about?
take it over to the counter and she looks at it and she's like, "What's this?" No. Well, hang on a minute. I don't. I'm gonna have to go get the manager. She takes. Can I take this for a minute?
Sure thing.
Okay, so she grabs it and she wanders off into the back room. She's like, "Hey, Aaron, can you come take a look at this?" And then you see a very, very old man come shuffling out of the back room, and he's got some kind of weird contraption on his face. It's like a bunch of different glasses and lenses that are. It looks like some kind of arcane device that you have no idea what it's doing, but some of the lenses are glowing. He pulls it down and flips through a couple settings. He's like, oh no, absolutely do not, no, no. And he takes it and throws it out the door into the street. What are you trying to do, sell that shit like in my shop? Something like that in my place of business? The fuck is wrong with you? Who is this clown? Hey, you. And he comes over and he grabs, as he's walking by, he grabs a truncheon out of one of the buckets and starts coming towards you, Silk.
What's a truncheon?
It's just like a club. Like a billy club or a police baton.
I'll move to be half in front of Silk and and put my hand out.
And I'm just gonna ask, like we got like a guy handed this to us, and it seems like a normal dagger.
Yeah,
Someone
well, you know,
retrieve it
just
from the
because you're
street before
dumb
it
and
gets
take
stolen.
whatever anybody hands to you, don't mean you get to pull that kind of clown and shit selling that in here. And he's poking Silk in the chest with his club. I want you out of my shop. Get out of here.
Marty's gonna
Punch him in the face.
Marty's
Come on.
gonna
He's not being violent. He's just, you can tell he's trying to shoo you out of his shop.
Listen, we're so sorry. We didn't mean any trouble.
Yeah, I've heard it all before. You clowns coming in here trying to pull your shenanigans. Come on, get out of here. Shoo, go, let's go. And he's unless you're gonna fight him, he's physically ushering you outside.
Big
Okay,
love.
well, I'll go outside and pick up the dagger.
I guess no rapier for me. Unless there's another place. So I guess I'm gonna go look for another magic place where I can buy a +1 rapier.
I mean,
Alright.
one of us can probably go in for you.
Yeah, I think I could go in for sure.
Okay, so you guys got Slex. You picked up Roy's dagger.
Yeah, I just picked it up off the ground.
Okay.
Hand it back to whoever was Silk carrying it before, I guess. So if Silk
Yeah.
wants it back, I'll give it back. But if not, I guess I'll just hang on to
You
it.
can hang on to it.
Okay, so you grab it and you guys wander off, and the old man stares at you for a minute angrily in the street and whatnot. But then he turns around and goes back inside the shop, and when he does, the female attendant looks at Marty and goes, "Hey," she's like giving you the psst, psst, and she's making the come hither motion with her finger.
I'm gonna saunter over.
Don't forget 5 o'clock. I want you to meet me at the Pale Dragon Inn. She slides you what the equivalent of like a hotel room key is.
Pale Dragon Inn. All right, I'll see you there.
And get off at 5. Don't be late.
He gives her a wink and an air kiss.
Do you want to? If you move for the air kiss, she's actually going to grab your head and actually kiss you.
Wow. All right then. She knows what she wants. Yeah.
Did you want to try and say, "Hey, did you just want to try and get a rapier for Silk?"
Oh yeah. Oh.
Oh, I forgot.
Sorry. Marty,
Super distracted.
his hat's like on like askew. He's like, oh. I almost forgot. My friend, he was actually trying to buy a rapier before we got the boots there.
Oh, Aaron, he's an old fusspot. He's doing, he's harmless. But do you know what he wants? What does he need?
I think he wanted was it a +1 rapier? Marty's gonna turn around and call to you. Bardathus.
Can I use my minor illusion to just like throw my voice like from outside into Marty and just be like,
Do you have
like,
prestidigitation? You have prestidigitation, right? Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna throw in a plus one. I'm just gonna be like,
So
yeah,
you saw one in the shop that is what you need. And you're like, hey, I saw this, and you describe it, and she's like, okay, I need the money though.
I make the universal finger rubbing gesture at Bardathus that means cash.
Can I like quickly like open the door and throw a bag of money?
I mean, you could just toss the colonel those gems that you got from Corum and Joram.
Yeah, do that, and then Colonel, you want to try to negotiate a price again? Just
we'll see. I'll roll for it. We'll see.
Yeah.
She's not gonna, even though she's enamored with you, Colonel. She's a little too preoccupied for bargaining at this time. So
plus, we tried it once.
Every time you come over and try and bargain with her, she's just like putting her hand in your shirt and grabbing your junk and whatnot. So. She clearly has other things on her mind. She will get you a poking stick, but this ain't exactly the sort of poking she's interested in at the moment.
Right. Yeah, I'll just buy the sword and be about my way.
You give her 550 gold, and she returns with a +1 rapier, and she slips it down the belt of your pants, and she grabs your ass while she's
very dangerous. I'm like, whoa. Careful.
I mean, that was a sheath, probably.
Dangerous indeed. If you think this is dangerous, just wait till later tonight. I'll see you at 5.
All right then. Marty leaves the front. She's like, that bitch is crazy.
Yeah, you're gonna walk out. I'm gonna raise an eyebrow, and I'm gonna be like, "You should be careful later."
Yeah.
Make sure we know where you are, and if you don't return by a certain time, we can send out the search party.
Yeah, I think you might have to. We'll see.
All right. Well, while you guys are wrangling with Aaron's awesome weapons, and you do have there's a punch in your card, by the way, Colonel.
Excellent.
While you guys are doing that, Biddy, you get over to the Silver Sages Guild, and standing outside is a bored-looking mage in a robe reading a book.
Ah, the illustrious Silver Sages. So good to see you. I'm here to acquire some scrolls.
I mean, all right, scroll shops around the side, fancy man. Go on in. Are you a member?
I am in Dragonmyrth. I assume my membership carries over here.
Of the Silver Sages? What's your name?
Well, my name is Grand Arbiter, Sub-Magistrate 2nd Class, Tiberius the 17th of the Tiberius family of Dragonmyrth, of course.
Holy shit, man. Which part of that is a name? He reaches into his robe and pulls out a book and starts flipping through it. He's like, what's your name, dude?
The whole thing is my name, naturally. I can shorten it. It's Tiberius, just to call me Tiberius.
All right, he flips it. I don't see, we got some, are you Tiberius of Senegal? I got a Tiberius the Great, I got a Tiberius son of Tigerius, and I got a Tiberius, I can't even read this. This isn't, what language is this? I don't know.
One from Dragonmyrth.
None of these guys are from Dragonmyrth. Do you want to join the Silver Sages? Are you a wizard? I'm guessing. You're talking about scrolls. Do some magic.
You're a comedian. Make me laugh.
All right, I'll cast a firebolt up into the sky.
Good enough. 50 gold. You're a member of the Silver Sages.
Fair enough. This is a bit of an indignation. I may register my complaint when I return to Dragonmyrth. Fine.
Oh, here, fill this out too, and he hands you a piece of paper. It looks like some manner of membership contract.
I will read it in excruciating detail.
Basically, it comes down to you get to become a member of the Silver Sages Guild with all rights and benefits entailed thereof, which mostly means hanging out in the Silver Sages Guild houses around the world. Occasionally, they may offer you jobs, though you're under no obligation to accept them. And it's basically like a social club for mages. So think of like joining the Masons or the Elks, except for just people who can do magic. And
very good.
It costs 50 gold a year to be a member.
Sounds good. Well, I'll join the Silver Sages then with my 50 gold.
Great. Okay, let's see. Yep, that looks to be in order. Yep. All right. So he rolls that up and pokes it into a rift. Like he rolls it up and then pokes it into a rift a rift opens to his right. That's just like in time and space. He throws it in there, takes your gold, throws that into the rift after it. Then the rift like zips closed, and he's like, "Go on in. The bar's to the left. If you want to go to medical services, is straight down the hall. And if you're looking for scrolls and books, that's first door on your right and left, respectively."
Okay,
And
I'll begin by going. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
the door to the quicksilver door to the tower opens up. When you walk up, it just senses your approach and opens like an automatic door to supermarket.
Ah, magnificent! Back in civilization again. I'll enter and go to the scroll room.
All right. Well, you come in, and it is like basically you just walked into an Elks Lodge. There's a library in the back, and there's what appears to be a couple different like little shops. There's a place to the right that's selling like poachers and tinctures. So if you head on back and go into the scroll category, that like you wander through a couple like library sort of shelves, like down the stacks a bit, and then you get to the back. There's a shop, and it just has it's big but not enormous, but there are a number of like scroll tubes and whatnot along the wall, and there's a very 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 fat man who looks extraordinarily bored. In fact, you're pretty sure he's asleep when you walk in, who's leaned way back on a stool in the corner. He sees like good day, sir.
Oh, good day, my friend. I'm here to acquire some scrolls, if you might have them. I'm looking for a gift of alacrity and haste.
Low-level spells. Hold on a minute. He stands up, and like when he gets up, there's a sandwich that's sitting under, like stuck to his butt. He was sitting on a sandwich. Looks to be grilled cheese. And then he wanders over. He's like, aisle 2, shelf 3, slot 6, and aisle 4, shelf 1, slot 4. He's like, oh, and then he points vaguely in a general direction. But the shelves are numbered, so you can figure it out.
Okay, I'll go retrieve those scrolls then.
Okay, you grab those and take them back to the dude.
Sure.
Well, let's see. That's what is that? A level 1 and a level 2 spell?
Level 1 and level 3, actually, I believe. Base is level 3, yeah.
So let's see. That's gonna be 650 gold.
Certainly. Here you are. I'll just hand him I'm not going to succeed in haggling anyway. It's probably bad form here. I'll just hand him my 650.
Okay. You have those spells and 650 less gold. He's like, you want anything else? Sandwich? And he pulls another sandwich out from under his desk and holds it up. There's a bite taken.
Well, yes, I would like a sandwich, actually, a half-bitten one. That looks delicious. And by the way, might this fine organization have any information about a gentleman named Roy?
I mean, it's a pretty common name. You're gonna have to help me out a little bit. What kind of Roy are we talking about? Like that guy who played goalie for the Bruins?
Well, he may have. It's an interesting point, but he's supposed to be some sort of god or something. I doubt it myself, but a man of some repute, from what I understand.
Look, man, and he takes another bite out of the sandwich that he just offered you before offering it back to you. He's like, I ain't never heard anybody named Roy. I don't know no gods named Roy. Sorry, champ.
Well, fair enough. How about mystical daggers?
Good sandwich, though.
Any reading on the history of mystical daggers from this region? I'm interested in
look, dude, my shift ends in 10 minutes. Like, more sandwiches. This is a good sandwich, though. Just like if you're looking to research, go to the library, man. Quit bothering me.
Fair enough. The library, then. Off to the library I shall proceed.
Okay, so you go back to it's nowhere near as exhaustive as the Dragonmyrth Grand Library, but there is a pretty nicely sized library here in the Silver Tower. Also, as you're inside, you can tell that the interior dimensions 100% do not match the exterior of the tower, so there's some extra dimensional space shit going on here. But if you want to go to the library, there is a bored-looking librarian. Everybody here seems like they hate their job. Like, they're all bored gas station attendants, every single one. The librarian is like, oh, good. More people. What do you need today, sir? I don't see... She's looking at your chest. She's like, I don't see a name tag. What's your name?
Well, my name is Grand Arbiter Sub-Magistrate 2nd Class Tiberius the 13th of the Tiberian clan of the Dragonmyrth Outlands. And frankly, I am,
cool. I'm going to call you
so
Tom.
I probably won't say it again.
So what is it that you want, Tom?
Well, my fine woman, I am in fact looking for some information on a gentleman named Roy. I hear he's a man of some repute around here, as well as his ceremonial magic dagger, from what I've gathered.
So you came to a library to ask about a guy named Roy. Are you okay?
I come to the
Tom?
library
Have you
for
been
everything.
hitting the head a lot lately? I mean, there's a lot of people named Roy. So you're gonna have to narrow it down some.
What's your most famous Roy?
I mean, there's that guy who used to play goalie for the Bruins. Do you want a biography of that guy?
How about your second most famous Roy?
Hold on a minute. She goes over to a card catalog and starts sifting through it. And she comes back and hands you a drawer. And the drawer from the card catalog is just books about people named Roy. So make an investigation check, Biddy, while if you were willing to look through it.
I am willing and able to read dense documents. All right, I got sadly only a 9 on my investigation check.
They have a copy of the Book of Roy.
Let me present the book to her. Any further information about this document or anything associated with it, perhaps?
I've never seen that before in my life. I don't even know how it got in the library. I mean, sometimes people turn shit into the lost and found. You can have it if you want.
Any sort of cross references or anything like that running on this book in your card catalog?
Hold on. She picks the book up and holds her hand over it. Her hand is glowing slightly. And then she holds her hand over it for a couple seconds, and then she tosses it back to you. She's like, dude, that fucking book is nonsense and gibberish. You can throw that away on your way out. We don't have anything else about your, I don't know, whatever you want to call that, religion, maybe? I don't know. I've had homeless people shout more cohesive stuff at me while I was buying a sandwich. Like, at lunchtime, there was a sandwich board guy outside the deli that I like to go to. They have these really awesome tuna melts there. Oh, man. If you get a chance, go to McSteva's Deli. It's fucking fantastic. The
only time you've seen this person excited is
yeah,
talking
she
about
seems
the
really stoked about these tuna melts. She's like, seriously, if you get a chance, go to McSteven's. This tuna melt is amazing. Anyway, the sandwich board guy who hangs outside McSteven's begging for hot rolls and buns, I don't know. He was shouting some crazy shit that sort of sounded vaguely like this, but honestly, your best bet would be to go talk to sandwich board guy.
An interesting point. One last question before I go. What is it with people who work here and sandwiches?
I mean, what sandwiches are great. You don't like sandwiches?
Good enough explanation for
Are you
me.
sure you haven't been, like, seriously, I'm actually kind of worried about you. You're a member in good standing. If you've been struck in the head lately, you can go down the hall and they'll take a look at it. Like, the doctors here are pretty good. And she points down towards the medical ward at the Silver Sages Guild.
Not a bad suggestion, really, but I'm short on time. I'll go speak to the madman with the sandwich board first before I get my head examined.
Yeah, it sounds like a great plan. Have a good day. And then she goes back to, she pulls a book back out from under the counter and she's reading what appears to be a copy of, like, a popular novel. She's reading some like Pulp Fiction stuff. Not Pulp Fiction the movie, but yeah.
Oh, what a pleasant guild! I'm glad to be a member. Everyone's so helpful.
All of the action in this building seems to be centered around the bar. Like the members and other people. When you walk on your way out, you walk past the bar. The bar is bustling. Like there's a lot of people in there drinking and having a good time.
Check out the bar then, I suppose. Never too early for a little eye opener, I suppose. What have we here?
Well, you walk in and there's a bunch of like snooty looking mages sitting around drinking beer, shooting shit, and some of them are throwing darts. I mean, it's like any other bar you've ever been into, except pretty much everybody's wearing a robe and has like a staff or a wand.
My snooty comrades.
Yeah, I think I mean, it's basically just a wizard social club. So,
all right, I'll go in and mingle and see if I sort of show people the Book of Roy and see if anyone's ever heard of it or knows anything about it.
Okay, make an investigation roll.
I shall. Ooh, not bad. 22.
Okay. You glad hand a few people. You're walking around, working the room. You'd be like, "Oh, I'm a visiting mage from Dragonmyrth," and they're all, "Oh, what do you do?" And then you tell them what they do, and they're suddenly less interested and basically trying to get out of the conversation. But during the course of that, you interrogate a few about the Book of Roy. None of them have ever heard of it. They have no idea what the sandwich board guy is all about. They assume you're kind of addled and maybe a little crazy. But you seem friendly enough, so they're not angry. They're just like, they're not, trying to kick you out or anything. They're just like, this guy is a little odd. You're the
Fair enough.
You're the weird guy.
Can I sort of make conversation just generally and see what's the topic of the day?
Absolutely, that role. Yeah. So while you're sort of mingling and sort of, everybody seems to be very, very, very. They're all talking about the same thing. They're all very concerned about the situation with the Thieves Guild. It seems as though something very valuable has been stolen from Zenobia, and there's some small bit of like a class war sort of going on. It's kind of a Robin Hood sort of situation where the people are like, yeah, the thieves are taking away from the Zenobians and giving it to us poor downtrodden folks. And the Zenobians are very much upset about like a string of robberies that's been going on in Zenobia, where targeting like wealthy Zenobians, and then they take that loot and they've just been distributing it to the poor.
The
Thieves Guild has been stealing and then giving it to the poor?
Yeah, they have.
This is an outrage. Economic inequality is what keeps our society together.
Specifically, they robbed Zenobia. Like 2 days ago, so they stole something from Zenobia's tower. Nobody knows what it is, but you know that it would take a master caliber thief to rob Zenobia's tower. It's actually it's the most safe and secure location in Karenborg, and one of the safest and most secure locations in all of Dragonmyrth.
The Pink Panther.
Could be. Okay, and no one knows what it is.
Zenobia has not. Nobody. None of Zenobia's staff or anything have been willing to disclose it. Just so you know, Zenobia is a diviner, so she knows lots of stuff, and the people who work for her are not going to be the kind of people who would tell something that she doesn't want to be told because she'll know.
Interesting.
So security at Zenobia's tower is very tight, but they know something was stolen, but nobody has any idea what it is.
Well, thank you for the information, gentlemen. I'll be seeing you again shortly, I'm sure, but I am off to talk some sense into a raving lunatic.
Yeah, good luck with that. Here you go. And one of them's like, yeah, here you go. One for the road, champ. They buy you around, and then I'll usher you out.
Wonderful. I'll go head off to Sandwich Board, man.
Okay. Well, you guys are, do you want to rendezvous back with the party before you talk to Sandwich Board, or you just want to go straight to
sure.
Mixed Demons?
With all the thieves about, I better rendezvous with the party.
Okay. The thieves have not been, they've only robbed Zenobians. That's one thing you gathered from your conversations. Normal people are not being targeted by the thieves. They are only robbing Zenobians. And specifically, they're only robbing rich Zenobians. They're not just like, if you happen to be a Zenobian, although typically Zenobians tend to be rich because it's, again, expensive to become one. But there are some Zenobians are just like, reasonably well-to-do merchants. And those kinds of people are not getting robbed. It's the fabulously wealthy ones that are getting ripped off.
Mm-hmm.
So, have I heard about this Thieves Guild heist from him?
You have not heard about the heist, but as you guys are wandering around the city and whatnot, you've heard people mentioning the situation with the thieves. So you guys all have got a little bit of information. You guys know something's going on.
Do I know anything about the criminal element and where I might be able to find thieves?
So do you? Is your character from around here? I know your background, and you tell me, would your character have reason to know about this?
He would be vaguely aware of sort of if there was an outfit in an area, but not necessarily more. Gotcha.
So, for instance, you would know this is a mob-controlled area. This is hypothetical. I'm not saying that's what's going on here, but if you were in New York, you would know which crime family controlled the portion of New York you were in, but you might not know any of them by name or anything, right?
Yeah, I might know the family name, but
Gotcha.
Not a lieutenant or anyone.
Okay, so just generalized criminal knowledge. Okay, got it.
Yep.
This seems a little unusual. Most thieves do not behave this way. That's your additional insight is this seems strange. Usually when you steal stuff, you keep it. So you guys rendezvous back together then?
Sure.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you guys said, hey, let's all meet at like 10 o'clock over at this, and pointed out a place on Silk's map. So at about 10 a.m., you all gather up and meet at the square with the fountain and whatnot.
Well,
I've heard of
upon hearing,
I tell you about it. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, everything that's gone on. The first thing I say is that this, the reaction of the arms merchant to the dagger is it underlines it is an item of import. Now we seem to have failed in discovering that or understanding it in some way, but he was certainly able to. So we must regard it at all costs. Also, I would like to visit one of the more prominent almshouses or hospices to offer some charity work. By dint, I hope possibly hear of unusual donation to some other place where perhaps one of these Robin Hood-esque characters has made an effort to...
So you want to go volunteer at the Temple of Chandria?
Absolutely.
Okay. So you get together and Tink's like, I'll go volunteer at the temple and see what I can find out.
It would be interesting to find somebody who could actually tell us more about the dagger without just turning us out on the street. I think that's a worthy endeavor.
I want everybody to make an intelligence check.
Oh God, where's the
intelligence?
Yep, just a straight intelligence roll. Just roll d20 and add
Oh,
your
the
intelligence.
dice
bonus.
didn't load properly for me.
19.
7.
Also,
Okay. Biddy, you
also Martinique.
Oh,
Yes,
go
sorry,
ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, Martinique, when you're,
Selecting dice.
laying pipe later tonight.
They're just.
maybe you
I
should
can't
ask
see
about
what
the
they are.
dagger.
They're all.
I don't know if I'm going to meet her. I'm afraid she's going to rip my dick off.
I may have to log out and log back in because the dice are all kind of. I rolled this one over here, but I can't really. It says 13.
I
but
just
can't
spawned
see it.
some new ones in. Are these ones?
Yeah,
over
those
here?
ones look fine.
Okay, roll those. Then.
Can I cast mage armor on his dick?
You can cast mage armor on the Colonel. I mean, that would cover his dick and the rest of him.
That would cover my dick. So
All right, we'll fortify your dick in order to gather some information.
Slexy got a 1. Okay. What everybody get? Biddy, you got a 19. Anybody beat that?
Nope.
Biddy, you remember that you have a letter of introduction from Jonas to Zenobia. The letter is addressed to Zenobia.
Magnificent. Well, we should probably meet Zenobia at some point, but I wouldn't mind gathering a little more information first. I feel that she may, we may be better off armed with the greatest weapon of all, which is knowledge.
So,
I mean, swords are pretty good weapons too, but you know.
Okay, so what's up? So, Tink, you're going to go to the temple?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Anybody else get anything specific other than go interrogate a crazy man wearing a sandwich board?
I wanted to go. I want to go see if I can play at an inn and maybe overhear some conversation about like the thieves. Get
Okay.
any info.
Do you have a particular inn in mind?
I would just kind of ask around for one that's sort of like either near where like a Zenobian cluster, if there's like an area around there, or if there's like a kind of poor area where like the money's been like getting dropped off, like if there's one sort of nearby.
Well, you've heard of the Pale Dragon Inn because one of your party members has an appointment there later. Do you want to try the Pale Dragon?
Yeah, we'll try the Pale
It's
Dragon.
pretty fancy. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so you can go.
Probably
You're going to go do that, and then the rest of you are going to go yell at a homeless man.
I mean, I'll tag along. I got nothing better to do. I'll just stand in the background.
Yeah, I'll hang out with Slex.
All right, so Tink, you head over to the Temple of Chandria. It's nowhere near as large or ornate as the Dragonmyrth Temple of Chandria, but I mean it's a pretty good sized church. They got a nice building. There's a really well tended and manicured guardians around the edges of it, and you go to the front of the temple, but like, I mean, it's open for business and there are people wandering around in there, but nobody really pays attention to you much at all. Like you wandered into a church.
Well, I'll look to see if there's some curate or other some such administrative fellow around that I can,
I mean, you see some priests coming and going, wandering through the temple. Do you want to just flag one of them down?
Yeah, I'll move up to. I mean, temples generally have a sort of like a side.
I mean, if you want attention, you could shit in the holy water or something, or you could just go find a priest.
No, nothing of that sort. But there's a place where the priests prepare themselves, so I just go and knock on the door.
Not that you can just walk into. That's like open to the public.
No, but knock on the door or approach whomever.
So you're gonna go to like the what's it called?
Sacristy.
Yeah, that's it. Sure. Okay. All right. So you go knock on the door, and a priest of Chandria opens. Just like, can I help you?
Yeah, so I present my bona fides and I say, well, we have...
What bona fides do you show them?
Presumably...
Your holy symbol?
Yeah, as a cleric of Chandria.
Okay, cool. Yeah, all right. That's nice. I, too, am a worshiper of Chandria. Can I help you? This guy looks confused.
Yeah, but
You basically walked into a Catholic church, went up to a priest and went, I'm a Catholic!
You see, this is what I keep forgetting, is that everybody's like a magic user. But as a 5th level cleric of this church, I would have assumed I'm not just some rank and file dude off the street.
You're not some rank and file dude off the street, but also you're not an official member of the temple. Like you're a functionary. It'd be like if a church deacon went up to like the cardinal of an archdiocese and like, I'm Catholic. It'd be like, well, good for you, buddy.
So, with that in mind, I would say I wish to volunteer any services that may be of use to the shrine.
Okay. I mean, do you want to sweep up the place? I mean, I can get you a broom.
I will, yes, indeed. Anything that would be of use.
He seems genuinely confused. It's like, okay, sure. Hold on a minute. Do you want some tea or something? He like opens the door and motions you inside.
Thank you.
Cup of tea before you sweep? What are you doing here, man? It would be lovely. Genuinely confused. Is there something that you need?
Not especially. I just wish to pay obeisance to the great Chandria in a hope of offering free services.
I mean, we have temples, but, Chandria, you can pray pretty much anywhere. She's a nature goddess, so that's fun. But, I mean, honestly, I feel like you should probably just go out and tend to the sick or injured if you're looking to do that. It seems like sweeping is
that was what I did say. I said, an almshouse.
Well, this is a church, not a hospital.
No, but I did ask about a hospice or an almshouse. Not necessarily the shrine, but that was where you directed me.
Somewhere to help people.
Yeah, they don't really have like this isn't that sort of a church where they have like an outreach thing. You're looking for more like a homeless shelter?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, okay. Why don't you go down to Chandria's Delight, and then he gives you an address that's a couple blocks away. That's a soup kitchen.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Okay. I mean, enjoy. God, peace be with you. Chandria's blessings upon you. And he makes the Chandrian equivalent of a genuflect, and then sends you on your way. He's like, "Do you still want the broom?"
No. I return the broom.
Okay. Have fun.
I will sweep my way down the street.
Ride the broom all the way to the soup kitchen.
Okay, so you wander down a couple blocks to a soup kitchen, and sure enough, there's a line of people who are getting soup and bread. Looks like there's a couple priests of Chandria there who are handing out soup.
Well, I go and offer my services. I offer them help. And just
Okay.
say, "Look, I'm a
They will give you a
fellow
ladle
priest,
and some bowls and say, give this soup to people who are hungry.
and I will get to work. And
Okay.
then I will, just keep my ears open.
I mean, the homeless people are mostly speaking nonsense and gibberish, and like they mostly don't talk. They're just there for soup. They come up, they get their bowl of gruel, they eat it, and then they drop their bowl off and leave.
So what is the predominant language in this city?
Common.
Are we all... Okay, yeah. Well, fair enough. Yep, just get to work ladling out soup.
Okay,
Smiling.
make an investigation roll, Tink.
+10.
What's your total?
10 + 1, 11.
Okay. So you serve soup for a couple hours, but don't really you don't really hear some crazy shit, but it's also stuff like the Rat King has risen again, and Jim Morrison isn't dead, and I mean, it runs the gamut of from taking a shit on the subway to top level, they're eating babies under a pizza parlor kind of stuff. You can't really make.
What about from the fellow priests?
I mean, they're just serving soup, so they're not really gossiping. It seems like they very much kind of don't want to be here.
Oh, that's not very good.
They look as though they are low level acolytes who have been told to go create food and water and make soup, and then to give that soup to the homeless.
Is the soup any good?
It's going to be bland and tasteless.
It is soup and it is nourishing, but that is about all you can say for it.
Okay, well,
Okay, well you're gonna spend. That's gonna take a couple hours, so you're doing
fine.
soup.
Absolutely.
Silk, you were gonna go glad hand in a pub. So you get to the Pale Dragon. It's Tony. They already have a bard who is performing. So they're not really gonna let you busk. But I mean, you know, it's a bumpin' tavern. There's people around. They're talking and whatnot. So what do you want to do?
I would just during probably when like the bard when the bard that's actually performing there takes a break, I'd just go over, introduce myself, and see if there's any see sort of like what news he's heard, because I'm guessing he's probably a regular.
Oh, all right. Well, Tommy Thompson. Hey, what's going on? What's your name? Didn't catch it. Sorry.
I'm liking all these superhero names.
Is Tommy Thompson a superhero?
Well, it's just most superhero names have the
so
same.
Oh, gotcha.
Usually,
Peter Parker.
I like alliteration. Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, my name's Barnitas. I came here with the caravan, and I'm just trying to get a lay of the land and see what's going on. I heard about some thieves and some craziness. I don't know what's.
Oh man, I don't know about that. I don't run in those I'm not that kind of bard. If you get my time, I'm an artist. I mean, some bards are like ne'er-do-wells and they're out, adventuring, crazy shit like that. But I'm an artist. For me, it's all about the art. I just want to sing my songs and have people really listen. You know what I'm saying?
All right, I need to know what kind of impression am I getting. Is this guy like a bleeding heart? Like like it's all about the soul, or is he like just kind of saying the stuff because he doesn't know me and he's
make an insight check.
All right. Uh, 12.
You get the sense that he is a Kool-Aid drinker and really thinks that his band is going to make it.
Oh.
Well, that's okay. Like I said, I just wanted to introduce myself. I've been enjoying the music, and I'm
what part did you like? Like what verse really spoke to you? And then he tries to give you the Dragonmyrth equivalent of his SoundCloud.
So I want to know if I can take it, but also like kind of like quickly sneak it back onto him without him noticing.
Make a sleight of hand. Make a sleight of hand check.
25.
Yeah, you absolutely do that. You're like, oh, cool, I'll definitely check it out. And then you take it with your right hand, and then your left hand just puts it back in his pocket.
Good work.
I'll let you get back to it. Thank you so much for speaking with me.
All right, dude, my next set's going to be, you should hang out, because I think you'll really, like, if you like that last, you're really going to like the next set. I got a feeling.
I'm gonna offer kind of like a pleasant, oh yeah, of course type thing, and just kind of mosey off.
Do you want to jam?
You know what? I feel like yeah, this would be something Barditas would probably do.
Okay.
But I want to check with the bartender.
Oh, don't worry, it's cool, dude. You can jam with me. Come on. And he goes up on stage, and he's gonna do his next set.
Pull out the bagpipes.
Do it.
I'm not there. I'm not going to get killed.
I think I'm gonna go with the lute.
Okay. All right. Well, he starts singing some like shitty butt rock, and you're doing your best to stay in key, although he's not great, and even he's not sure what key he's playing in. But you do your best to keep along and follow the changes. So you do you're going to be jamming for the next couple hours. His set's going to be about a 90-minute run, so you're going to be jamming for the next 90.
Okay.
So then back to Biddy, Colonel, and Slexy then. So you guys get to McStevenson's Deli. There is sure enough a homeless guy wearing a sandwich board outside of it. The sandwich board says, "Repent now, the end is nigh."
I'm gonna stand in line and order some sandwiches for me and my friends.
I'm going to stand across the street. And
The
watch
line
Biddy work.
is really long, Colonel. Like, it goes around the building and halfway down the next block.
Does it really?
Yeah.
Wow, these are must be good
Sandwiches.
sandwiches.
McStevens is it seems
Seems
to
like it's
be
worth standing in line then.
I'm gonna stand in line just in case this takes a while.
okay.
I'll try to convince you, Martinique, to switch places in line with me. I think you're probably more likely to successfully be able to talk to this.
Oh, no, my friend. You
lunatic.
get to talk to the sandwich board, man. This is all your research coming to fruition here. I don't want to take glory away from you.
Here, let me
And
just
after
give me
I-
a second. I may just bless you.
So Jimmy Sandwich Board Guy has a sandwich in one hand and a Book of Roy, what you recognize as a Book of Roy, in the other hand. And he is yelling at the people waiting in line about how they need to repent, how the apocalypse is upon us, and that the 6 legions of 66 demons shall rise from the depths, and the 7-headed dragon is going to hold them all in judgment. Fires and plagues and locusts. He seems to be doing the equivalent of a Book of Revelations kind of thing. It's all like batshit insanity nonsense.
I'm going to
Go
tap
ahead. Yes.
Bitter on the shoulder and give him guidance
Okay.
and say good luck.
Thank you.
Just
Thank you.
good luck. And then I'm going to stand across the street and watch.
Okay. So Slexy goes, "Good luck," pats you on the shoulder, hits you with the guidance, and then wanders away.
So you can roll a d4 and add the number.
And if the crazy man, he notices that you're looking at him, Biddy, and he comes over to you and he's like, "Have you heard the word? Roy is about to return. It will be glorious destruction. The fires will rise up and the wicked shall be cast down and burn for all eternity. Are you saved, brother?"
I want to pull out my Book of Roy and say, "Why, yes, good morning, fellow pilgrims."
Hallelujah, fellow devotee. How excited are you for the end of all things?
I'm positively trembling for it, quite frankly, and I'd love to learn more about what you know about the good word of Roy.
I mean, the end is upon us. It's even now as we look, the signs and portents are all here. People eating babies in the basement of this very deli.
I've heard of this.
Make a quick intelligence check, Biddy.
Sadly, only a 7.
This building does not have a basement.
That reminded me. Oh,
You can tell by the way that it is built that there is no cellar or basement dug beneath this building because it is sitting atop a very, very flat set of flagstones. The whole city is actually like perfectly level, and there are flagstones under every building. It's like there was a giant magical paving machine that set the city flat. None of the buildings in this building have basements.
Why, yes, my good man. We all know that Zenobia is the leader of the pedophile ring, and her predecessor wasn't even a citizen.
Finally, someone who knows. She's eating babies. That's the secret to Zenobians. They feast on the flesh of the innocent. You've got to help me spread the word
about the lizard people. Yes,
okay,
yes.
Wait, hold on a minute. When you say lizard people, do you mean the conspiracy of people who pretend to be lizards pretending to be humans, or do you mean the actual lizard people because they just live down by the down the river by the swamp?
Well, both, quite frankly.
Lizard men are actually a race. Like there are actually lizard people in Dragonmyrth. Lizard men are a race. So he's curious if you're being racist because he's on board with that. He just wants specifics.
Yes, all of the above, really. It's those damn lizard people.
That's taking our jobs, and they're the ones bringing the babies. I finally have found someone who's seen the light. Thank God, brother. Thank Roy. All praise his mighty name. Unlike you sinners, and he turns and starts yelling at he turns and starts yelling at the people standing in line. The people standing in line are doing the best they can to fucking ignore him, and a couple are like flicking cigarette butts at him and shit.
Well, we can't expect those average sheep to understand what we do. But nonetheless, tell me of Roy. Have you seen Roy?
You've read the book. You know the words, brother. Roy is everywhere at all times. He is all things and all people. Even as these vicious monsters chow on the babies, they devour the blood of Roy. But that's okay. That blood will turn upon them, and when the time comes, they shall know the severest of punishments. The scorpion horse locust shall sting them, and they shall lie in agony, wishing that they could die. And he goes on and on and on in that similar vein.
Yes. Excellent point. Now, how about his sacrificial dagger? Have you heard of the good word of Roy's mighty sacrificial dagger?
There's no mention of a dagger in the Book of Roy. What are you talking about? Roy was impaled upon a mighty cross and stabbed in his side with a spear. He doesn't.
I must be reading the addenda. Yes. Well, anyway, that's interesting. Anything else you can tell me about our good friend Roy that I may not have heard in my travels?
I mean, he will give you like lunatic dogma for as long as you want to do this.
Ah, yes, lay it on me.
So until you walk away from him physically, he will tell you about the glories of Roy and about how he's going to come and punish the wicked.
All right. Well,
but everything that he is saying, you recognize as being something from the Book of Roy. Like he's basically just yelling that book at people.
Where do the other adherents of Roy congregate in this fine city?
I beg your pardon. Now he seems genuinely confused. Wait, what are you talking about, friend?
Are you the only worshiper of our fine?
Other than yourself, of course. That's why we're special. We know the secret. We know about Roy. That's our purpose, brother. We must spread his word to these heathen non-believers. And he turns back and starts yelling at the people in line again. Colonel, by the way, you have made it to the front of the line.
Excellent.
Sandwiches are 1 gold piece.
I would like to order 3 sandwiches.
You notice that is extraordinarily expensive for a fucking sandwich.
But the line all around the corner, like I'm hungry, I'm waiting for it. Apparently everybody else is waiting for it. I'm ready to pay the price.
So you pay the 3 gold and they hand you back wrapped up 3 of the largest, most delicious smelling tuna melts you have ever fucking seen.
Excellent. I walk over to Slexi and hand him one and watch the show.
It is the best. it is the single best, most perfect tuna melt you have ever bitten into. It is magnificent.
Oh,
they're
excellent.
Really good.
Now, before I depart, my good man, tell me how you learned of our Lord and Savior Roy.
I found this book in the garbage, and when I read it, I realized this is the truth. And he pulls out his copy of the Book of Roy, and you can see that it has what appears to be like a spaghetti sauce stain on one corner.
Hopefully it's spaghetti sauce.
So you're pretty sure that actually he found it in the garbage. Yeah.
All right. Well, it seems to be about all I needed to hear. I'm off to proselytize to the masses, my friend.
Very good, brother. Spread his holy word throughout the land. We will save these unsalvageable sinners just yet. And then he turns back and starts yelling again at the people in line.
Alrighty, he didn't have much to say.
He is very clearly a fucking madman. Yeah.
How did that go there?
Like, Jonas struck you as a little bit crazy, but this guy is fucking next level off the deep end, completely devoid of all reality.
I hand Biddy a sandwich for his fine work.
It is the best tuna melt you have ever eaten, Biddy.
So how
Well,
did
thank
it
you,
go
Martinique.
there?
I had been craving spaghetti after that interaction, but this tuna melt really hit the spot.
Did you learn anything?
It's really good. Like, you're not even able to talk for a minute when you first bite into it. You're just like, fuck, I need to just savor this in my mouth. You're going to zone out for a minute and, like, really absorb the sandwich.
All right. Well, we learned nothing there.
But we did get a good tuna melt, so not a
true.
complete loss.
Hey, you've learned that other people in the city have heard of Roy, so that's something.
At least-
I'll give the Colonel 3 gold for my sandwich.
Oh, no, it's my pleasure. Don't you worry about it.
Okay, so what do you guys want to do? Silk, your jam session ends, and Tink, they are out of soup.
Okay. Is there a cash box where I can make a donation to this particular?
The acolytes will take whatever you want to give to the Church of Chandria, sure.
Sure. So I'll hand over 25 gold.
All right. Oh, thank you, brother. That's unbelievably generous. Do you know how much soup this is going to buy? They seem genuinely excited. They're like, oh, thank you so much. Chandria's blessing be upon you.
Yes. Please buy something decent rather than what we've been serving today.
We'll put carrots in it next time.
Oh,
Ooh.
just some basil will do.
What's basil?
It is a form of green lettuce, known to us turtles.
Ooh,
Here,
secret
let me-
herbs.
let me find some for you.
Okay. Do you have
So
basil?
I'll.
You
go.
can if you want. If you have basil, do you have a herbalist kit? There might be basil in there.
I don't. That was the whole thing. Is I wanted to learn.
No,
how
you
to
bought
do it,
one.
but-
You don't know how to use it, but you know. I mean, you own one. You bought one.
Yeah, but I mean, we get the fresh stuff, so I'll go and find some at the local market. I know what it is.
Okay. Well, when you wander off, they lose interest and head back to the temple with their gold. But they are going to turn it in, so that is
Yeah.
they are going to do it. Yeah.
I would.
They're not
expect-
stealing or anything, but
No. Okay, just let me correct my character sheet.
Silk, your jam session's over. You're ashamed to have been a part of it.
I guess.
Like, as far
Can I-
as
can I
bar
make it-
performances go, you once saw Steely Dan get drunk, fall off stage, and shit himself, and it was a better show than this.
Wow.
Yeah, so that was a good time. Did I get any money in any tips whatsoever?
No, no one tipped this guy. They did throw some vegetables at him. Unless you're counting that as a tip, no. And also, as soon as you guys clear the stage, you can see the manager of the Pale Dragon comes over to that guy, and they start having a very harsh whisper fight in the corner.
Okay. Well,
And
I'm gonna go over.
A couple minutes later, that guy leaves. Tommy Thomas the Bard he exits through the rear.
Can I go? Can I go talk to the manager guy and see if I can?
He sees you walking over to him. He's like, "You two, get the fuck out of here!" What the hell was that?
I'm trying to play.
I called the agency and told them to send a bard, and they sent you two. What the fuck is wrong with that? You know what?
I'm not from the agency, sir.
Sure. Yeah, I can tell. Would you just wander in off the street? That's more believable. Get out of here.
Yeah. Okay. So am I getting kicked out, or is this just a don't go near the stage again?
No, he's asking you to leave.
Okay.
Oh,
Well,
wow.
I guess I guess I don't get to ask around about anything that was going on.
You were listening to the various and sundry hubbub, and it seems like people have heard of this situation, but nobody knows anything specific. Like they know that there's some sort of conflict between the rich and powerful, and the Thieves Guild seem to be targeting them for some sort of purpose. But again, nobody knows specifically what's going on. It's all rumors and innuendo.
All right. Well, on my way out, I would like to use my prestidigitation to make a really loud fart come from the manager's backside.
Okay, he farts.
Yeah, take that, you
He's
jerk.
not the only one farting, so it doesn't really draw that much attention.
But you know.
I mean, it sounded wet. Like you fooled him. He goes and he like grabs his ass and then kind of waddles off towards the back. He's gonna go check his drawers, maybe.
Perfect. That's really all I was going for. Just slight win for him.
Okay, so you guys are then Tink, you're outside a homeless shelter. Silk, you're outside a bar. You guys are eating sandwiches.
Yeah, I'm gonna. I guess I'll just sort of disguise up again, just to change my look so they don't kick me out while they don't try to like shoo me while I'm standing outside the bar.
I mean, nobody's gonna bother you if you're outside, but you're welcome to disguise yourself if you like.
Okay, yeah, I'll just kind of pick something that sort of blends in.
Okay. So what do you want to rendezvous? Did you guys make plans to rendezvous? It's about
like
noon.
the end of the day.
It's about noon.
Does eating sandwiches count as a short rest? Can I arcane recovery back my spell slot that I spent on mage armor?
Sure.
Oh, did you actually mage armor me?
No, yeah. I mage armored myself, but
Colonel,
yes, I was thinking that.
I was gonna say the Colonel wears armor, so mage armor's not.
Yeah.
Really
well, I was thinking more like, once the dick was exposed, it wouldn't be wearing armor.
Well,
but,
if my dick's exposed, I'm hoping you're not in the room at that point.
I mean,
well,
mage armor lasts for
pre-armoring.
So I feel like we should go try to find that Zenobia gal since we got the letter and see and like.
I mean, you can literally see her tower from everywhere in the city.
Yeah.
Well,
so
I'll vote for
maybe
that.
we said we'll meet there at 1 or something or like noon.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you guys gather at Zenobia's tower at noon. There's a large courtyard in front of it with a big, nice, fancy fountain, and there's some like manicured grounds nearby. But it's a public space, so there are other people wandering around. But you're outside her tower. I mean, there are no.
Is there a door?
There's a door. There's no personnel, but there is a door. Yeah, and it has like a little rope thing next to it. It's a bell. You can like just go ring the bell.
Hold the rope.
Yeah. I guess I'll just.
Are we all together again?
Yes, you have all gathered outside Zenobia's tower, and Silk walks up to the door and pulls the bell pull. A tinkling chime goes, and then the door opens up.
I'm just gonna go ahead and just indicate to everyone to sort of follow me.
Come on in, she's expecting you. You hear from inside.
As previously discussed, she is
Inside.
She's
knows what's going on.
Yeah, forget the word.
So you hear a pleasant female voice says from inside the building, she's expecting you. Come on in.
Yep. So just cruise inside then.
Okay,
Yep,
you guys step inside, and you are inside a ornately like it's magnificent. It is opulent beyond measure. Everything is made of like a lovely rose marble. It's tastefully decorated. All of the furnishings are like it looks. The place literally looks like $1,000,000 gold. It's
not like Trump Tower.
No, if you spent that amount of money but actually had taste, is what this would look like.
Okay, got it. Good.
And there's a very well-dressed young woman who's sitting on a fainting couch, and she is reading a book, and she looks up and she's like, go ahead and go upstairs. She's been waiting for you guys for a while. You were supposed to be here earlier, but she said something about a sandwich. I don't know. Wait, am I supposed to get you sandwiches? Are you guys hungry?
We ate.
Okay, well, upstairs then.
I'm gonna offer I could eat type look.
Oh, okay. She puts her book down and rustles. She dashes off. There is a large spiral staircase that goes up the inside of the tower, and she pointed up when she said she's waiting for you.
Shall we just head up then? Anybody have any complaints?
You don't see any other people around.
I mean, I would like a sandwich, but she'll probably bring it up to us. I assume. maybe I should wait and you guys can head up.
You got the impression that she'll find you.
Oh, okay.
We'll
Then
just-
I guess we head up.
Okay, you guys roll upstairs, and at the very top is a you pass a bunch of like various like bedrooms and all kinds of off working spaces. There's a library and whatnot. The tower is extraordinarily tall. It takes you actually about a half an hour to climb stairs, so you're way up. And when you get to the top, you come into what looks like a very nice living space. Although there do seem to be a very large number of mirrors, crystal balls, and other things that are generally associated with like clairvoyance, clairaudience, and scrying and whatnot.
Marty checks out his ass in one of the mirrors.
It looks fantastic.
That's what I thought.
In the center of the room is a very small black-haired woman who is sitting on a couch, looking straight up at the ceiling. She's like, "Oh, finally! You guys were supposed to be here 2 hours ago. The sandwich board thing, I didn't see that one coming."
Let's just say it wasn't our idea, but we made the best of a weird situation.
You have a letter for me, I think, and she points to Biddy because he's got the letter.
Yes, indeed. Here you are.
I already know what it says. So you're gonna have to go get my crystal ball.
Which one?
That's what was stolen.
Well, that's the thing. It's the one. I can't remember. Did we already? Wait, hold on a second. And she seems a little confused. Didn't we already talk? Oh no, wait, that was. And she's like going back and forth and correcting herself. You get kind of a Leonard Shelby sort of feel from her a little bit. She's like, right. No, that was previously when you didn't do the sandwich thing from before that we already had this conversation. But now we're here. So yeah, crystal ball, right? Back on task. The thief stole my crystal ball, and I know you guys are here for Roy and the dagger and whatnot, and but in order to get like for the Roy thing, I'm gonna need my special one. I mean, you don't just scry on a god with any crystal ball, am I right? And then she kind of trails off for a minute, and then you hear her muttering to herself very clearly. You can't quite make out what she's saying.
Okay.
Do you mind if I ask you a few questions?
I mean, you already did sort of ask me a question, so I kind of know what you're going to ask, but go ahead, because you'll need to get caught up.
So, you know a lot, obviously, but it sounds like you aren't clear of who took your crystal ball?
Well, no, I mean, I know who took it, but also I can't find it, because she doesn't have it anymore, and then they hid it, and I don't know, Donaldo is involved somehow, but he is inscrutable. It's like... how do I explain this? She's like, basically the only person who could scry where my crystal ball is me, and in order to do that, I would need my crystal ball.
Where was the last place you know it was?
Wait,
I mean, it was right here.
Ronaldo?
It was right here, and she points to an empty pedestal where there is like a little three-pronged holder that looks like it would hold a crystal ball. It's very prominently seated in the center of the room, and it is empty.
Do we know this Donaldo name?
You have never heard that name before. Well, I don't know. Make a history roll. You may know, actually.
I'll assist with that.
Me too.
Take advantage on the roll, then, Slex. Or Silk, sorry.
I'm not rolling.
All right, so 13 or... Yep, so 13.
You have never heard that name before.
Okay.
Did you know that they were coming to take the crystal ball?
I mean, of course I knew. We already had this conversation. You know that I knew because I already know everything. But when you see as many futures as I see at once, sometimes it gets confusing and you forget which things have already happened and those that haven't happened and the things that were supposed to happen but didn't and the things that weren't supposed to happen but did. Sometimes it's exhausting being me.
It's like how we were supposed to be here earlier, but then we...
And then she wanders over and pours herself a cup of tea and goes back to staring at the ceiling.
So
right. I forgot that I didn't
just
already
ask
tell
who
you because
is
you guys
the
are
guy.
late. You were supposed to. Did I not tell you about Bernice? I thought I'm sorry. I'm misremembering the thing that didn't happen because you yelled at the sandwich board man for like 2 hours. What was I saying? Oh, Bernice, right. You know what? And then at this point, the young lady that you saw downstairs walks into the room and she has a sandwich which she walks over and gives to Silk. She's like, "Oh, thankfully, Jennifer, you're here. Can you do the thing?" And Jennifer's like, yes, I've got it, Mother. I'll handle this. And then Zenobia goes back to staring at the ceiling. And Jennifer turns. She's like, I sorry. You know how she is, or you don't. I forget. You were supposed to be here a couple hours earlier, but when you're as deep down the rabbit hole as Mother is, sometimes it gets hard to find your way back out. Did she
Makes
tell you
sense.
about Bernice?
No.
We know nothing about
No.
anything. Please start at the beginning as much as humanly possible.
You know what? Mother, is it? She's like, yes, you're supposed to already have been gone. And then Jennifer nods and she's like, come, follow me, please. And she takes you out of the room.
Okay.
Don't forget about this. She's like, yes, Mother, I know. Before they go, we'll be back. And then Zenobia goes back to staring at the ceiling. Jennifer ushers you over into like a little antechamber that looks very similar to the one you were just in, but smaller and with fewer scrying devices, although not none. There are also some mirrors and balls and whatnot in here. And Jennifer goes over to a desk and sits down behind it. She's like, please sit down. And there's like couches and whatnot. So make yourselves comfortable.
I said
So I'm gonna do that and take a bite of my sandwich that she gave me.
It's ham and cheese. It's pretty good.
It's nice.
So you sit down. She's like, right. Hold on a minute. Let me get my notes. This is where Mother and I differ a little bit. And she pulls a big book out from under her desk and starts looking up and down. And make perception rolls.
Sure, all of us?
Yeah, everybody.
14.
Oh yikes. So 15 is my passive. And
So-
I'm not even going to give you the number.
What's your passive? Like, you can't get lower than your passive. So, Silk, you got a 15.
yep, that's my passive.
Anybody else get a 15 or better?
I got a 22.
Okay, so anybody who beat a 15, you look at her book and it looks like think about a crazy person's like string board from a movie. It looks like some manner of documentation of various and sundry timelines and where they overlap and integrate, but it's reasonably well organized, and you sort of get an idea that she's kind of checking notes of various and sundry different futures to see what's going on. She's like, oh, okay, here you are. And she finds her place and puts her finger on a spot. Okay, so, 2 days ago, the Thieves Guild, well, let's start at the beginning, of course. Bernice, who is the leader of the Thieves Guild, there's a bit of a dust-up between, shall we say, the politics of Zenobia. It's complicated because all of the powerful people in Zenobia are like me. And she isn't a Zenobian, by the way, as is Zenobia. They are both Zenobians. So when she says like me, what she means is Zenobian, undead Zenobian. And the various and sundry noble houses have been around since Mother perfected the procedure, and they compete and intrigue, and it's honestly all exhausting. Mother and I despise it, but every time we try and affect the outcomes to make for a better future, it fights back at auto-correcting, and we've never finally been able to work out a mechanism to get things to be better. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Most recently, the people of Zenobia, and by that I mean the not us, their things are feeling a little inequitable, and this happens every 50 years or so. It's always the populist movement, but this time the populism is led by a man who is named Baron Donaldo, and we're pretty sure that Bernice, who is the head of the Thieves Guild, is in league with Donaldo, and we're certain that she stole Mother's crystal, but also we don't know what they did with it. And every time we try and divine its location or figure out anything more about it or where it is now or who has it, we come up empty, which is, to say the least, unusual. For us to not be able to find something is, that's what diviners do. So
Yeah, that is a bit odd.
honestly, based on what we've seen, you guys probably need to talk to Bernice.
So where could I find Bernice or someone from the Thieves Guild?
Well, that's the thing. Well, you and I both know that when it comes to making contact with thieves, you're the right man for the job, and she looks at you very, very she gives you a meaningful glance. So, I could tell you, and she looks at her book, and she's like, 12 different ways that you're going to get that goal accomplished. But honestly, you already know what to do, so let's not bother about the here's or there's or the particulars. You'll figure it out. But what you need to do is go find Bernice, because we can't. So good luck.
So
Okay, so
what we're hearing is You guys are some of the most powerful people on the continent, and you need our random.
Well, I
scraggly
mean, world.
to
Let's
help
not.
you.
Let's. I mean, world. Let's not. Please, come on. I mean, don't. We're talking about mother.
Well, all right, fair enough. I was assuming,
You get the impression that this
curious
lady is
before.
nice, but also a little stuck up and maybe a little racist.
Okay. So why us?
I mean,
Surely we get someone better qualified for the job.
no, I mean, literally, I've looked at the future a dozen times, and no, you're the right people for the job. We already know how this works out. You're gonna come back with the crystal, so go forth and do.
Is there a future where we find our Roy first before we retrieve this crystal ball?
When it comes to Roy, nobody knows anything because you don't just gods. There is no future where a god is concerned. Their whim is reality. I don't know.
He is a real god, then. He's not just some weirdo that wrote a book about himself.
Well, I mean, he's that too. It depends on which future you look at and which timeline we're talking about. There's a couple, so I can't really give you a definitive answer to that question. Nobody can because I mean, Roy's Roy. Roy gonna Roy. Am I right? She also seems a little. You get the impression that she is also somewhat addled, but not quite nearly to the degree that her mother seemed to be. But you get the impression that she also doesn't have like a supremely firm grasp on reality.
Okay.
Or at least not just one reality. But she seems to be much more adroit at dealing with the various and sundry conflicting timelines than her mother is. But it's also possible she's just not looking as many. So
Jennifer, could you tell us maybe about what kind of magical interference would even be at work here that would be making it so the best diviners in the world can't get any information about this problem?
Well, when
here?
Mother has her crystal, I mean, there's no power that could stop her. But barring the presence of that crystal, I mean, it's one of the most powerful artifacts in all of Dragonmyrth. Barring that, tons. I mean, here, and she holds up an amulet that's around their necklace. This would do for almost anything other. This would stop almost anyone other than Mother. But you already know this. I mean, shouldn't you guys be at the kiosk already?
Do you have the same power as your mother?
I mean, we're both diviners, if that's what you mean. But again, you guys were supposed to have been at the kiosk already.
We haven't been told about the kiosk yet.
Did we not? And she goes back and runs her finger back through her. Oh, God, shit. I'm sorry. The Thieves Guild. Right. You're supposed to just go down to the kiosk and talk to. It says here either Rick or Rob. Actually, Rick and Rob. I don't know, but the kiosk is in the square. I mean, the Thieves Guild is. You guys know where to find them. He does anyway. And she points at Silk. Silk, you know that the Thieves Guild in Zenobia is like not secret. The Thieves Guild is it's a guild like any other. Like if it was a Weavers Guild or if there was a like the Porters or Stevedores or Teamsters, the thieves are just like any other guild. They actually have kiosks throughout the city where you can hire people to steal shit or buy stuff that they've stolen. It's sort of it's more like a union than a secret club.
Okay. I feel like I would have known that, but I appreciate the reminder.
It's been a while since you've been to Karenborg, so. Also, I had you roll earlier. You just didn't roll good enough to remember.
The sandwich jogged his memory.
Well,
yeah, there you go.
Jennifer did, but anyway. So, you guys. Just a minute, Mother. And then you hear a chime coming from like she told her mother just a minute before there was a chime for you to go. She's like, she wants you in there.
All right. Okay. Well, thank you, Jennifer, for helping catch us up to speed.
I'll see you in. Well, I mean, you'll see me in like either 2 or 3 days. Like the odds are probably 3 days from now. So have fun. And then she wanders off over into the corner and sits down in front of a pool of clear water and goes completely still.
Okay then.
Yeah, so we'll just see ourselves out.
Well,
there's when you step out into the hallway, there is a small kobold there, and he's pointing towards Zenobia's. The room you came out of was Zenobia.
Yeah, so we're just gonna go back there.
And she's still sitting in her chair looking at the ceiling. She's like, oh, I forgot. You, and she points to Tink. Galapagos, buy a wheel of Roquefort. The halfling is going to need it. Biddy, or rather, Tiberius. The marshal isn't what he seems, but you can trust him nonetheless. Martinique, do not make a pass at Morthion. That does not end the way that you think it, or hope that it will. Shit, Slexy, what's your guy's name again? I forgot.
Soul Setter. You can just call me Soul.
I can never remember your guy's name. Soul Setter, Theodoric is a jerk, and let's face it, borderline asshole, but also he's a strong ally of your people. And lastly, Barditas, don't sell those bagpipes. Sedgwick is going to love those, but if you even think about getting them out of your pocket in this room, I will disintegrate you where you stand. I swear to God. And then she goes back to staring at the ceiling.
What was the name of that guy?
Sorry, what was the name of that rope?
Rope? Buy a wheel of Roquefort, the cheese.
Oh,
she said, buy a wheel of Roquefort, the halfling will want it.
This afternoon, actually. Delicious.
She says, buy a wheel of Roquefort, the halfling will want it.
Yeah.
Fine.
And who is the person that would love the bagpipes?
So she said Sedgwick will love them. And the kobold is tugging at your pant leg. He's like motioning towards the exit.
Thank you for your time. We'll
she
return,
does not seem to even be aware that you guys are in the room anymore.
Okay, so we're just gonna leave, or I'm gonna leave.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You follow the kobold. He leads you downstairs to the door and gives you a cheery wave, and then shuts it behind you.
All right.
As
soon as we're outside, just be like, okay, well, that was odd, and then look over at Barditas.
Why is everyone looking at me?
So apparently you're the
you know where to go.
Of the party. So
okay. I guess we should find a kiosk and see what we can glean from there. Do I have are there, like, can I figure out where a kiosk would be from the map?
You check your map, and you know that there is a kiosk in Temple Square. That's the closest one. There are several throughout the city, but there's one in Temple Square that's pretty close by.
Okay, so on the map, it looks like there's one in Temple Square, so I think that's where we should make our way to, unless anyone else has objections.
no, not at all. This whole thing has been rather weird. I'd prefer to get it over with as soon as possible.
Okay, so you guys head over to Temple Square, and sure enough, there's a fat halfling sitting in what looks like a photo mat, except on the side of it, instead of like a picture of a camera, there's a bag with a $sign on it.
The halfling!
He is very fat. Like, maybe the fattest halfling you've ever seen. He's basically a sphere.
I need to get some... I need to purchase some Roquefort. As I am a
should we do that on the way?
A vegetarian.
I'm
really not going to know anything about dairy products.
So between Zenobia's tower and the Temple Square, there is a place to stop if you want to buy cheese. There's a cheesemonger on the way, and they do have Roquefort, so you could get some if you want to.
I will request the best.
Okay, 2 gold. They sell you an entire wheel of Roquefort.
Oh, fantastic! Oh man, I gotta say, can I just?
It weighs like 15 pounds.
Just taking us out of the game just for a second. I actually had some Roquefort earlier on today. It was, and I bought it about a week ago. It's called Roquefort Papillon, and it's wetter than a normal Roquefort. But fuck,
moist. That's the way I like my cheese.
It was so delicious.
Roquefort is gross. Actually.
I'm with you, Tank. I love Roquefort. It's delicious.
It's a gross cheese.
Oh my god.
Anyway, so you get to the fat halfling is in the booth, and you have a wheel of Roquefort if you've paid the 2 gold.
Yep, please, thank you.
He's just sitting there. He doesn't even look awake.
Well, I'm not going to do any negotiating.
I guess I'll stroll up and just be like, "Hello."
He opens one eye. He's like, "Well, what do you want?"
Need to get in touch with Bernice.
I mean, yeah, we all need to get in touch with Bernice, but that's not exactly how it works. Who are you?
My name's Barditas.
Yeah, never heard of you. So, Bernice is a real busy lady, especially lately. Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard. We need to get in touch with. We're trying to find where the crystal ball went, and I believe Bernice can help us find. What was the show?
Oh, are you the adventurers?
We are adventurers.
Oh, well, all right then. Follow me, I guess. He hauls his ass up off the stool with a grunt and a couple farts, and then he pulls down the shutter and closes up the little stand. He's like, "Come on," and he starts walking away towards the market.
Okay, I guess I'll sort of follow him.
Okay, you follow the halfling for about 20 minutes, and he leads you through a maze of streets and passages and alleys and whatnot. And after about 20 minutes, there's a sewer drain down in the middle of one of the streets. The lid is off, and he's like, "There you go," and he points at the hole.
How big is the hole?
Big enough for all of you to fit down.
Okay, good.
It's like a manhole.
Does it look like he's trying to send us to our doom?
No, I mean, it just looks like a sewer tunnel. You can see there's light down in the bottom of it. There are torches or something. You can tell that's casting illumination.
Play him off with some bagpipes.
We good? He looks at you guys and points. Cool, and then he wanders off.
Okay, so he's just gonna leave anyway.
Yeah, he's walking away.
Sure.
Well, waddling, but yeah.
Um,
He looks like if you pushed him, he would roll like a bowling ball.
All right. Look over at you guys and be like, "Well, shall we go down?"
May as well.
Can I use do we have a way of getting some extra light so we can see where we're dropping, or is it well lit enough that
Tink and Biddy can both
light.
cast light, yeah. Also, the tunnel is lit. If you look down there, you can see torches. It's not dark.
Yeah, this is quite
Oh, okay.
obviously the chief highway of the Thieves Guild to the inner realm, so let's go.
Okay. Then I'll just go ahead and sort of go down first.
Okay, so you go down, and there's a very well-lit tunnel that seems to be formerly a sewer, but it doesn't appear to have any sewage flowing through it currently, and it leads off into the distance.
Let's go. Do we have a guide? I'm sorry, or are we expected to navigate our own way?
There's only the one way. The behind you is a dead end, so if you're in this tunnel, there's only one way to walk.
Sure.
Yeah,
Do we
so
have
I
a
guess
party
I'll
order? I mean, how wide
I'll
is the
take up the
tunnel?
rear.
I mean, it's pretty roomy for a sewer. You can walk two abreast.
Mhm. Okay.
It's also clean and doesn't smell like shit. It doesn't look like this part of the sewer is being used for sewage. It seems to have been repurposed.
Feels like me and the Colonel should be up front then.
Yeah.
I'll take up the rear.
Okay. Well, you guys walk down the tunnel for, I don't know, a quarter of a mile. Then it comes to a T intersection. There's a little arrow on the wall that's pointing down the right-hand tunnel.
Is there any
The tunnel to the left is not lit and also kind of smells bad.
So I guess we'll go to the right.
Okay, you follow that down there, and eventually you come across what looks like a wall, but there's a door in it. It's just like a little wooden palisade with a door. There are two halflings standing in front of it. They look bored. They're about 100 feet away. You can see them before. They're not paying attention. They haven't spotted you yet.
I
Okay.
don't think. Well, we shouldn't. We should make our approach obvious, is what I mean. Not sort of attempt
Sound
to
the
be
gong.
sneaky.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you guys just walk up. They turn. They see you coming, and then they're like, "Oh, hey, what's up? What are you guys doing? Who are you?"
Oh, I'm Barnitas. These are my friends. We're adventurers. We're down here trying to find Bernice. The halfling from the kiosk directed us this way.
Oh, right, Zenobia. Yep. Okay. Here you go. And they one of them pulls out a giant ring of keys, like a janitor or a jailer, and puts it in a lock on the door and pulls it back and unlocks the door. And he's like, "Down the hall, third door on your left. Bernice is in her office, I think."
Okay. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
I mean,
Let's go. I'll kind
you
of-
won't, but okay. Good luck. They go back to talking idly. It's just you're in just a wooden corridor it's just like a wooden hallway, nothing fancy. There's a nameplate above each one of the doors, It looks like an office. Each one has a nameplate on it. The third door on the left says Bernice.
Do I recognize any of the other nameplates?
I mean, they're just names. There's a Lisa, there's a Susan, there's a Mitt. So it's just names.
Okay. So no famous names or anything.
Nobody you recognize. Nope.
Okay. Then I guess I'll go down and.
Okay. The office door is open, and there is a small halfling woman sitting behind her desk. Yes, can I help you?
Hi, Zenobia sent us to find you.
Oh, it's Barnitas. Yeah, she sent me the note, and I got it. I'm glad you guys are here. Come in, sit down, make yourselves comfortable. You hear about the crystal ball, right?
That's it.
Okay, so where do we begin? Let's start. I suppose we should start at the beginning then.
Ideally, if you can tell it in order, we've had a very confusing set of instructions delivered to us thus far.
Yeah, dealing with Zenobia can be real frustrating. I tell you, it's one of the things that it's one of the things I'm always talking about when I'm out talking to the people. But yeah, we got a big problem. So there's a cult that's at work here in the great city of Carenborg. And it's not good. Have you guys seen them yet wandering around, the folks with the hats?
What do the hats look like?
You have, as you've been wandering around the city, seen a number of people wearing what appear to be red berets. Not a lot, but like occasionally you've seen more than one people wearing a red beret, and they all have a little thing stitched on them that says MEDA, M-E-D-A. He's like, I'm assuming you've seen them running around, those crazy assholes?
Are they the kind of are they by any chance, and I'm purely guessing here, anti-intelligence, science, and women?
Who the hell knows what they're all about? They're a bunch of crazy assholes, but the one thing they do love is steak and shit that doesn't belong to them. And that's where my crystal ball came in. See, so what we've been doing here at the Thieves Guild, look, we took a contract from this fella named Donaldo, right? And it's just like any other thing. You hire the Thieves Guild. We take some stuff that doesn't belong to us. But this Donaldo guy, he's out of his fucking mind. He tells us, the Baron, he tells us, take the stuff and when you steals it, just give it away. Like, that's not how the Thieves Guild work, but the contract's a contract. And he's paying us more than the stuff that we're stealing and giving away. We don't know where the money is coming from, but we don't care. It's just too good. So we start stealing stuff from the Zenobians, the rich ones, and giving it to poor people like we was told. And I mean, things go well until he has us take the hit on the Zenobian crystal. And I mean, everybody loves a challenge, so of course they're like, can you do it? And we're like, can we do it? So we did it, and we stole it and brought it back here, and then it disappeared from the Thieves Guild, and we're pretty sure one of the meta guys took it. You know, down the hall, the office is empty now, but Cotton down there, we're pretty sure he took it.
Really? You just pointing fingers at anybody now, or do you have some special insight? I mean, frankly, the security to get in here wasn't all that impressive, if I'm gonna be totally honest with you.
I mean, okay.
Cast a look at Sherb that's like, are you fucking serious?
I mean, it's too little.
Let me just say, why do you think you wandered down the X-ray tunnel?
We were coming.
Did you not know about the X-ray tunnel? I mean, you walked. It's like a quarter mile long. You guys walked down it.
Yeah, but it wasn't exactly hard to find. You know what I mean? I'm just saying.
If we wanted you dead or not here, you would be both dead and or not here. I mean, you're supposed to be here. Zenobia is the ones we're working for now. She's the one who told us to get her crystal ball back from Donaldo after Cotton double-crossed us. There's only one rule among the Thieves Guild. You don't fuck over the Thieves Guild, and Cotton, that traitorous cultist bastard, he turned coat. He was supposed to be on our side, and he didn't. He flipped on us.
So why can't you deal with it in-house, I guess, is my question. I don't understand all the intrigue and the...
Because we can't...
random adventurers.
Because we also got a contract with Donaldo. Well, our hands are tied here. We can't... That's the other thing about the Thieves Guild is when we take a contract, we stick to it. So we're obligated to do both things. I mean, we'll steal for something from you, but then also we'll steal it from you and give it right back to the guy who originally took it as long as we get our cut. We can't go G on Baron Donaldo, but also we can't go G on Zenobia. And that fucker Cotton, he took our shit and he double-crossed Zenobia. He knows better. He's on the outs.
Okay, so this is where Barnatas is just going to interject. So, because you're Thieves Guild and you know about my history, you could direct us to.
I mean, let's be clear
what
here.
you did.
You're small potatoes, son. I mean, come on. Your heart's in the right place, kid. But let's face it. When it comes to redistributing wealth, you got a lot to learn.
My heart was in the right place.
I mean, it still is. But
Barnatas looks a little like forlorn, and then kind of like.
I've chosen my words badly, but you know what I mean, kid. And also, I think your heart's still in the right place. You'll find your way back, champ. You know you will. But honestly, this is why we need independent contractors. And Zenobia, she says you're the ones for the job. Don't ask me why. I got fucking an entire crew full of more successful operators than you guys. But for whatever reason, she says you're the ones to do the job. So, what do you say? You guys on board? You gonna go get the thing?
Sounds fun.
What can you tell us about what was the name of the guy?
Cotton?
Tom Cotton.
Yeah, Cotton.
I mean, he used to be one of the most influential members of the Thieves Guild, sat on the Council of 100, but now he's on board with this Donaldo guy, fucking Zenobian, no less. He's throwing away everything the thieves stand for. Or rather, he did exactly what a thief would do. You know what? It's kind of confusing. The main thing is he joined with those meta assholes, and now everything is like, oh, make everyone die again. And it's just all he can talk about is crazy lunatic shit. I have no idea what he's talking about, except the only thing that remains constant is this slavish devotion to that asshole Donaldo.
So as this is going on, may I cast my eyes around the room, looking for some excuse to find to offload this goddamn cheese. So, is there a table? Does he have some food out? Is there something like a cheese board that he's got on an occasional table somewhere in the room?
No, it's just an office with a desk in it and some
Is this
bookshelves
the
and
guy you're
chairs.
supposed to give the cheese to?
It's a it says the halfling, but not which halfling.
I mean,
Do you not-
Bernice
do you-
is a halfling, but that she's
Also, the head of the guild. I would have assumed that was the.
Just hold on to it. I think it'll make itself apparent when the situation presents itself.
Well, that's the bingo. That's exactly what I was asking. Is there any evidence of cheese or dairy product within the room that I might then be able to sort of divine that perhaps this would be the person to offload the cheese?
Do you want to just get the cheese out and say, do you want some cheese?
No. I was asking, is there any evidence of cheese around?
I mean,
Make
I've
a
told
cheese
you what you see.
investigation check.
It's a desk. Yeah, make a
Fine.
perception check, Dink.
Cheese investigation check.
Cheese investigation.
I mean,
There's
I
D20s
could
everywhere.
prob-
You have one in your pile.
I could see if I know. Like, I could probably.
You can just
notice
ask her if she
something.
wants the cheese. That's the other thing. You
Yeah.
say, hey, you want some cheese?
No, but I
So I'm going to flat out ask her while he's sort of looking around.
What'd
So,
you get? Hold on. What'd you get, Tink?
perception +4. I got 20.
Nothing
16, 16 +4.
There is not anywhere in this room that you can see which would be conducive to serving or eating of cheese.
Not even a mote of cheese on the lip or anything like that.
It's honestly a pretty stark office. There's not a lot of stuff in here.
Fair
Like
enough.
there are some chairs and a desk, and there is like
Oh,
a
but
small water decanter in the back of the room, but nothing upon which one would serve or eat cheese.
That's checking.
So here's my question. Who are we contracting with directly? Who cuts the check here? Is it the Thieves Guild? Is it Zenobia?
I mean, you're adventurers, so you're working for the Adventurers Guild. Of course, the contract's with the Adventurers Guild, but, it's me offering you the contract. Oh, by the way, here it is. And he pulls out of it, or she rather, reaches into her desk drawer, pulls it out, puts a contract down on the table, signs the top line, spins it around, and pushes it across the desk for you to read.
Look
I want
over
to
it
insist
bitter.
on reading the contract and appreciating detail. Yes.
It is a standard boilerplate Adventurers Guild contract that says you are being contracted to return or to retrieve the Zenobia's crystal ball from one Baron Donaldo, another popular Zenobian in Karenborg, and upon delivery of that, you shall receive compensation in kind. It doesn't say specifically what it is, but you would assume in kind probably means information about Roy.
I feel like this crystal ball is worth a little more than just information.
It is like one of the most powerful artifacts in the world. Yeah.
I don't want to fuck with it.
I want to just I want to sort of
Biddy, the contract seems 100% on the up and up and totally legit. I mean, there are no. It's a standard Adventurers Guild contract, and you know from experience those are pretty fucking ironclad.
I feel the compensation terms are insufficiently specified. Can I inquire with our interlocutor here?
I mean, you guys are here on another contract, right? And I think the Zenobia lady has stuff you want to know about the contract. So, like, she's probably going to fill you in and give you the information you want once you get her ball back for us. And she needs the ball to do that thing. Probably.
So, Denise, do you have any interest in what happens?
Please, it's Bernice. Bernice.
Bernice. My apologies. Do you care what happens to Cotton?
I mean, ideally, he'd wind up in a ditch with his throat slit, but you don't worry about that. We'll handle him. He's way too powerful for you guys. You guys go gunning for Cotton. He'll cut you like he's going to leave you puking in the street. That's not part of this deal. We'll handle it. Turncoats we handle on our own.
Okay. I'll just kind of offer the I understand like half nod. Is there anything you could tell us about Donaldo's residence? Anything? Surely,
I mean he lives in an ivory tower over on the west side of town. Of course he does. I'm living in an ivory tower. He's a Zenobian. They all live in ivory towers. Sorry. Spilled my coffee.
Is there I'm trying to see if there's any other like sort of like thief to thief like insights, like maybe they've scouted a place like to break in or whatever. Like,
if you're looking for info on him, you should probably just go talk to his fucking idiot children. One of them's over there probably yelling something right now over at the Yelling Square. You know, the place where, and from there's like a public square, like a public forum in Zenobia where people can go and like address the populace. It's like a square of public grievances. Tink, you're from New Zealand. You know that place where people go to yell at people in New Zealand in Christchurch?
Well, in London it's called Speaker's Corner.
Okay, they have a similar thing in New Zealand too. There's very much something like that. They call it the Shouting Square in Zenobia. And
can we stop by Mitt Romney's office on the way out?
You can go knock on the door that says Mitt if you want. So anyway, you guys good? You signing up or what? Here, I mean, we don't have an accord until I got a signature.
I'll sign my name to it. It seems all right, Glad.
Sure. Can I sign my name with Oh, I guess I'll just sign it with.
You can sign it with whatever you want. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Contracts for the Adventurers Guild. If you sign with an alias, they'll find a way. Don't worry about it. They'll find a way to enforce it.
Okay.
Martin,
I'm going to sign it as Barditas.
That's fine.
I'll allow it.
Yeah.
I make my mark.
I was going to say, you can just make an X on it if you want. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys sign. She's like, great, that's fantastic. All right, good luck, kids. See you around. I got stuff to steal and poor people to give it to. And he takes the contract, puts it and files it away in his drawer, and then he's like, have fun, guys. You can tell he's politely asking you to leave.
All right, I'll go open the door. Gesture everyone to get out.
So I'm going to offer the professional like head nod and leave.
He waves. Or she waves, rather.
Okay.
She waves. See you later, guys.
So I guess we're headed. I kind of want to head to find Yelling Square.
Okay. Well, you're standing out in the hallway. Bernice's door closes behind you, and if you want to go straight to Yelling Square, you know where it is because you have a map, so you can make your way there. It'll take about an hour.
What time of day is it now, please?
About 3:00.
And we're in springtime, no?
Yes, it is like April.
Climate here is different to where we were in Dragonmyrth. Is it drier or?
Think Mediterranean, so
Warm.
northern Spain.
okay.
I think northern Italy, like northern Italy.
Oh,
So I have some concerns about the condition of my cheese. So I need to find a cool, dark place for it to go in. Where are we going
I
to be
can
residing?
ray of frost it. You know.
No. You do not freeze rock 4. What the
well, we
fuck?
can cool something down and put it beside it.
Hmm.
You can like ray and frost
Ray of
like
frost
a
a
rock.
rock or something.
It's better off out of the sun and out of the heat, you know. So
And throw it in a bag and ray of frost the bag a little bit just to get it cool.
is ray of frost like an oven temperature? You can actually sort of do that. You can adjust the temperature.
I
I don't know why you couldn't.
It freezes stuff.
You can just freeze something and then put it near that
Just
something.
Yeah, just
Okay,
freeze
so
the rock
so
to
what?
use as a cooler.
So if we have a random sack or some burlap thing, we freeze that. We wait for it to get to the right temperature, then I can put it in that so that it's
I like how we're worried about
Yes.
cheese spoilage.
Okay, well,
It's
put it this
Roquefort. It
way.
needs to be
Put it this
taken
way.
care of.
I've been
Hey,
given
Tink.
one job.
If you want to preserve food for a long time, you could go buy a bag of holding and put it in there.
No air.
Yeah, that would be probably the best and safest place to store a wheel of cheese. Or any food item that you're worried about spoiling.
What about my spells?
Heal the cheese.
Can't
Yeah,
really heal
there's-
a cheese because it's not alive.
There's a
It
spell.
certainly
for it.
is.
I mean,
There's a culture going on in there, definitely.
Yeah,
What's
Roquefort's
that
more
one
alive than
spare
dead, I would
divine?
say.
Anyway, you guys are
Uh,
standing in a tunnel outside of
Let's
an
go. Let's
office
walk.
arguing
We're
about
walking.
cheese.
we're walking. We're walking.
If we all actually left behind the turtle who's just holding the wheel of Rockford and just like muttering to himself in a worried fashion.
Okay.
Yeah.
We need like a spore druid to calm the cultures in there a little bit.
So
know,
you guys
just,
you guys
talk
are on your way
conversations.
out. You wander down to the door past the two bored-looking halflings who shut the door behind you and lock it with their big key. They're like, "Have fun, guys. See you later."
Does anyone else feel like we're just missing a lot of information for this goose chase?
I mean, I'm gonna go take advantage of one of their dumbass kids because I have really high persuasion and deception skills. So
All I've learned in my years is just go with it.
I mean, like, look, I'm gonna do some stupid bullshit, and it'll probably not work out, but it'll be entertaining. So good enough.
It's true. We get to watch you.
Bard.
So you guys gonna wander down to the yelling square?
Yeah, and I'm gonna go ahead and disguise myself and add one of those stupid little like meta hats. So I
You've
look
seen
like sort of,
people
like-
around. It's a little red beret, and on it says MEDA in blue letters.
We'll
Yeah,
keep our
I'm gonna
distance from them.
I'm gonna throw that on, but like have the letters just not like have it sort of look like it like it sort of passes, but I don't want it to actually be whatever the hell the letters are.
So you don't what? Well, what do you want it to say?
Let's see here. DLTC. Don't look too close.
Okay, that's fine. So you're disguised then, and you guys wander out of the tunnels and climb back up out of the sewer. The grate closes itself behind you. The sewer lid goes and pulls itself closed and shuts with a clang. And you make your way over to the yelling square. Do you want to stop by? It's getting to be afternoon and shops are beginning to close. Do you want to go see about getting something to keep Tink's cheese in before you head that way?
Yes.
I mean, bags of holding are useful in.
Yeah, we should actually just have a bag of holding.
Okay.
Let's go look for that one.
So it's about 3:30. Aaron's amazing magic items is still open if you want to stop by there. You guys earlier they had a bunch of different containers of extra dimensional space. They had like portable holes and handy haversacks and all kinds of stuff. They had a whole section for that.
Okay.
Well, as I wasn't there for the initial savory exchange, shall I just go in and ask for this particular bag of holding?
So you go in and Jennifer is still behind the counter and she's like tapping her foot impatiently. It looks like she's really eager for her shift to be over. She's like, good afternoon.
Who knows why?
Can I, what can I help you with, Mr. I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name. She's looking at you, she's like,
My name is Galapagos.
oh, great, Galapagos. What can I help you find today? What kind of magic item can I put you in today?
I was looking for a reasonably specific bag of holding.
I mean, bags of holding are aisle 6, and she points over to one of the aisles, and there are a bunch of sacks and bags and various and sundry containers.
Perhaps you might be able to help me with something specific, namely a temperature-controlled environment.
I mean, a bag of holding's a bag of holding. The space inside is always the same temperature, so don't put a bag inside of a bag. That's the one thing. Like I said, aisle 6. She starts walking over that way.
All right, let's wander over there.
What is the temperature?
It's room temperature.
Yeah, it's room temperature. Like there's no oxygen inside of a bag of holding. Like there's this, when you open it, some air gets in, but then that is the only air.
That was my point, though. I mean, the room temperature here is not the same as it is in Dragonmyrth. So,
it's
the old
room temperature, like it would be in northern Italy.
If we put the cheese in the bag, it'll be fine.
Yes, a bag of holding will preserve a wheel of cheese in pretty much indefinitely.
Fair enough.
It's not a bag of refrigeration, but also like it's extra dimensional space. You're putting it in a magic hole that time and space don't really apply to.
Can you get a bag of refrigeration?
Not to my knowledge.
I actually think there is one.
An artificer could make one, maybe. That would be something you could hire somebody to make. But if all you want to do is have a dry, clean place to store a wheel of cheese, this is fine.
I'm not actively trying to slow things down. A lot of these things aren't very clear.
I feel like you're lying when you say you're not.
So she takes you over to aisle 6.
Honestly, dude, handing over a wheel of Roquefort that is rotten to the core to someone who loves cheese and may be really influential, probably not a good idea.
So she picks up a bag of holding and goes, well, this one is nice. And it looks like every other bag of holding that you've ever seen. In that it's a sack that's bigger on the inside than it is on the outside.
Okay. Name your price.
There's a price tag on the shelf. It says 500 gold.
Yep, you got it. I'll pay up.
Okay, you now have a bag of holding. I'm assuming you put your cheese in it?
Oh, yes.
Okay. Martinique, are you there?
Of our cheese.
Are you with them, or did you wait outside?
I mean, we wandered.
I wanted to ask if there was like a flower shop nearby.
Absolutely. There's a bunch of places you could have bought flowers.
I want to pick up a single long-stemmed rose.
Okay. One silver piece.
And then I'm just going to wait out front.
Okay. So...
Are you going to wait here at 5 while we leave?
Yeah. I'm busy.
Let me know if you need that mage armor, but
so she notices you as she's walking these guys to the door of the shop. She's like, oh! And she comes to step aside. Is that for me?
Maybe. Is there any other beautiful women I was supposed to meet here at 5?
I mean, I hope not, but it's not 5. My shift doesn't end for another 3 hours.
I thought you said it was 3 o'clock, Pete.
It is, but I'm going to have to stay late. It's going to be more like 6.
Oh, bummer. Well, I'll be here then. Take this for you.
She tucks it behind her ear and she pats you on the ass and says, I'll see you later, sailor. And then she goes back inside. So over to the shouting square then?
Yes, we have our bag of or Tink has his bag of holding.
Tink has his bag of cheese holding.
To the shouting square.
Okay, so you guys head over to the shouting square and it looks like this.
Ah, yes. Makes me want to shout.
Some stuff is still loading. You have to give it a minute.
I was going to say, it's a snowbound frostscape.
It may take. No, it didn't. It's just going to take a second. It's got to reach out to the web. It uses a lot of bandwidth. Plus, I'm streaming.
Yep.
Mine loaded in.
It'll get in. It just might take a second.